shoots off to the races. And look at that. All right. Looks like we're live.
Now you know what to do.
This is great. I don't know why this is always the case.
It doesn't matter. Just do that every time.
What is up, Gear Squad? Chain Gear here, bringing you another video. And today we had some more technical difficulties, but we're figuring things out. We're figuring things out. So many things every single time I do GearCast. It may seem like we're a day late, like we missed one last weekend, but that's because there was a stream last weekend. So let me give you a little bit of information before we hop into what we've been playing, and some R&R, some sales, and then of course the topic of the day. So I have not had my PS4 for about a week and a half. Yeah, a week and a half. It might have even been a week. I feel like it's been a week and a half, but it might have just been a week. My PS4 Pro wasn't really working. It had some issues. So I had to send it out. And it came back fixed. Happy about it. Yesterday. And unfortunately, I actually think they might have just given me a new one because my hard drive was completely wiped. Or at least, it's a new hard drive or something. So I had to reinitialize it, make it my primary PS4 and everything like that. Which I'm not mad about. It's frustrating for a multitude of reasons, but it's fine. It's all right. These things happen. So, I basically have been playing PC for the last week, which is going to be the majority of this conversation. The reason that I'm here today with EinTaxi, because I'm obviously not by myself, is because, Anthony, you play a lot of PC. As in, that's all you play.
No, I
you play mobile games.
Play a lot of Game Boy.
No, you don't. You might play emulators, but you don't play Game Boy. But you do play mobile games.
And mobile games.
2 mobile games. You might have stopped one of them.
No, I stopped.
But you were playing. So I just wanted to let you guys know that if for some reason, I know some people were sending me messages on PlayStation, asking me a lot of questions about UBCL tournaments and all this stuff, but I actually wasn't able to host the last UBCL tournament because I didn't have a PS4. I was in the chat. I did a little giveaway. So for all of those who still play Blacklight, for all of those who are still interested in being part of the PS4 Blacklight community, always stay up to date with BCL, UBCL. Usually I've got some information on my channel. You guys can always join the Discord. You can join the BCL Discord, all these things. If you have any questions, tweet at me at ChainGearGame or hit me up in the chat or in the comments. Usually I give about 15 minutes for people to hop into the stream, so it looks like there might be a person watching this, but we're probably going to get into things a little bit faster than per usual, just because again we're already late because we're having technical difficulties. But this is streaming. This is the life of a streamer,
That's his life.
Yeah, it's pretty frustrating. Twitch is honestly a lot easier to stream on, way easier to stream on. I streamed on Twitch. I test streamed on Twitch a couple times. That's one thing. You can test stream on Twitch. You can have a private stream and it'll tell you if it's going through, and you can just be like, oh great, this is working. YouTube, you can't do that, and if you can, I don't know how to do it. So YouTube streaming doesn't suck when you're streaming, but it sucks when
I think maybe you should move on to Dailymotion.
Yeah, let's go to. Oh man, what was that? Ustream. Wow, you're naming ones I've never heard of.
I don't even think that's actually
Hitbox is one of them.
Unilad.
There's a whole. You're making something up. So anyway, so I probably will do some more random test streams and stuff like that on Twitch. So if you guys want to follow me on Twitch, it's Chain Gear Gaming on Twitch. I'll probably do a small 5-10 second video that just says I'm live on Twitch when I'm live on Twitch. That way you guys can kind of check it out. I see that's pretty popular to let your YouTube audience know that you're on Twitch. And yeah, I mean, for example, I know this sounds crazy. I actually can't stream Blacklight on YouTube. The only way I'm able to do that is through my computer. I have to go through this whole rigmarole, if you will. But if I use my PS4, the only way I can do that for some reason is through Twitch. So I'm not really sure. Yeah. Well, what's up, Killa? It's always good to see you. Actually, I haven't seen you in a long time. And I think you actually sent me a message saying that you switched usernames or something on PS4. But yeah, so let's just jump right into things. We're not going to jump right into the R&R, of course. Let's take a step back for a second. And EinTaxi, how are you? How's life?
Good.
For those that don't know, EinTaxi is my roommate, Anthony.
Yeah.
Today is about...
We walk around the apartment calling each other our usernames.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, it's funny because at this point, the majority of people I know call me Chain Gear. But the majority of people, unless you talk about my work, like where I go to work, they don't call me Chain Gear at all. But like on the internet, people do that. But nobody at work does.
They might start doing it.
Yeah, I mean, if they saw my streaming, maybe.
Yeah,
but no, I never call Anthony EinTaxi. But we also didn't meet through the internet, so I would never know to call him EinTaxi. But Anthony,
yes,
what have you been playing recently? We are going to talk about PC games. So we don't necessarily have to talk about the PC games that you and I have been playing, but there are games that you've been playing solo, and I'd love to hear about that.
a great game that's good to play solo is Fire Emblem Heroes.
Yeah, that's right. All right, so I might actually do a stream of Fire Emblem Heroes because it's easy to do, and it's a good game.
You really stream that?
Yeah, it's super easy. I might actually just stream it like maybe after this or something, just to show you guys what we've been playing. I don't want to get copyright strike right now. If I stream it, it's fine, but I don't know how this is gonna work. So, but Fire Emblem Heroes is dope. It's the best game ever. Play this game. It's incredible. It's by Nintendo. Well, kind of. It's by Intelligent Systems.
If you have a long commute to work, but not too long, because you have a certain amount of stamina.
Right.
Then play Fire Emblem Heroes.
Yeah, I can show you guys Fire Emblem Heroes. It's a great mobile game. It's fun. It's I feel like it's the perfect mobile game in a lot of ways. Strategic games, tactics games, I feel are perfect for mobile, right? Yeah. Like Pokemon games, which I mean I don't know why there isn't a Pokemon game. Fire Emblem.
I actually got a Game Boy emulator and I was playing Advance Wars.
Right, yeah. No, those are great. All of those games are just because you can just stop whenever you want, and then you can jump back in whenever you want. Comparatively to some action game or something. I mean, that's why I think small games like Jetpack Joyride, I don't know if you remember that game, or Flappy Bird even. Those are small games where you can just play for a little bit and stop. I think tactical games are a better way to have a AAA experience on, in quotes, a AAA experience on a phone, because it may cost you a lot of space, but it doesn't the time commitment can be very different. So, but yeah, Fire Emblem Heroes, good game, very addicting. Even when you realize the grind that you're going to inevitably have to go through, you're still just I
just do it.
It's good.
I just grind, don't even think about it.
That's good.
Kind of just go on autopilot when I'm grinding.
Yeah, and there's so it's for Android and iPhone, so no worries. I can definitely show it to you. Kill it, even if you're the only one that watches it, I'll show it to you. So yeah, it's a good game. Killa asks if either of us have played Rainbow Six Siege. Have you played on PC? I played on PS4. I have not played on PC. Killa, I didn't know you had a PC. If you have a PC, let me know. But
I think I played the first Rainbow Six game?
Well, that was not even similar. Siege is 100% different than all the Rainbow Six games.
That's the only Rainbow Six game I played.
Siege is good. But it's one life kind of game. It's what do you say that? You just die, when you die, it's over. There's no respawn.
Elimination.
Yeah, an elimination kind of game. I'm not a huge fan of that. I like fast paced, going through it. But the tactical shooter portion of it is awesome. So if the game ever got a lot cheaper, I would probably buy it. Even on sale, it still isn't cheap enough for me. But if you like Last Man Standing or Last Team Standing, in Blacklight, then you'll probably like this. Poseidon, hi, nice to see you. Glad that you joined. But anyway, cool. All right, is there any other games
that you've been playing? Tactical shooters.
Well, we'll talk about that. Oh, we will talk about that if you're talking about our PC games that we played.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what the whole point of this video is going to be about. So.
How about that?
Not that game.
Okay.
But my PC experience overall. So if you guys have seen the title of this video, it's literally called PC Master Race because, like I said, I've been playing PC for the last week, if not week and a half. And it's been interesting. My experience has been all over the place. But we're not going to dive into that yet. So is there any other games you've been playing that you want to talk about? Or because we are going to talk about a lot of them that we've played this week.
I played Mankind Divided, but I think we talked about that in the last one.
Yeah. I just mean in this last week or last 2 weeks. I think you've mostly been playing the games that we played.
That we were playing. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I literally just got Abzu.
Okay. Cool.
As in
cool.
literally like 5 minutes ago.
Cool. That's supposed to be a good game. We've talked about that a little bit on the channel. Kind of like a Journey-like-ish game. I actually just re-downloaded Journey. I re-downloaded a whole bunch of games I forgot that I had ever bought. So that's exciting. But Hunter, what's up? Glad to see that you're here as well. If anybody's watching this after the stream, just remember that 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, this is when it's supposed to start. So feel free to always just hop in every Saturday. I haven't really missed a Saturday recently. The last Saturday, the only reason I didn't do it was because I didn't want to run over the tournament that was happening for UBCL.
Daylight savings.
And daylight savings, yeah, it wasn't me. I didn't realize Hunter. Oh, the Hunter. Oh, I for some reason literally thought you were Okay. Anyway, Expo, what's good, man? What's good? Always good to see you. I was playing a lot of games on PC, and we'll be talking about all of those for sure.
Black Mesa.
Black Mesa. Yeah,
Black
good point.
Mesa.
Good point. Black Mesa is a remake of Half-Life 1. Or Half-Life. I don't want to mess anything up with numbers, but Half-Life.
The original.
Which is great. I still haven't beaten it yet, but I will probably try and beat it. I don't know. It didn't seem very long.
No.
Yeah, so I'll probably try and beat it because I did like it and I liked another story. God, Killa, we will talk about my experience with keyboard and mouse. We will talk about it. I did get my PS4 back yesterday, and so I did play some Blacklight Retribution. And guys, I honestly missed that game a lot. For those, this is a really quick side note. For those that still maybe follow Nuclear Sharkhead, who is like the Blacklight YouTuber, right? But not anymore because he doesn't do Blacklight content. And that's because he's on PC, and Blacklight on PC has gone all over the place, right? On PS4 though, Blacklight is still doing really well. Lots of people are playing it. Maybe not the same players that you remember, but there are a lot of new players. It's the best free-to-play shooter on PS4, not the best free-to-play shooter on PC, and so you kind of have to take what you get, whatever. I played on PS4, and I jumped in the game, and I made a Leprechaun build because I made myself all green and really fast, and it was fun. I played it. I did really well. So it was fun to be able to kind of jump back in. I was screaming. I was freaking out the whole time. It was ridiculous.
He was.
It was so much fun, though. It was fun to get back into that. And I'll probably get back into Blacklight a little bit more for fun reasons, just jump in with some friends, do some stupid challenges or crazy builds. It's a lot of. I don't mean to be mean or anything like that, but it's a lot of noobs that are playing now. It's a lot of people who have really low prestige levels because there's a lot of new players, which is cool. I think that's cool. And I don't think I'll continue making crazy content for the game or anything like that, but. Streaming it every once in a while, hopping into it, I think it's pretty fun. So that's basically all.
What would you say is the best free FPS though for PC?
On PC, I mean that's pretty hard. I don't know.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I haven't played enough of them. I have played a good amount.
It's definitely one of the
them.
best that I played.
Yeah. I mean, in a lot of ways, there's it is, but I think there are a lot of other games that came out that just beat it for a lot of miss you. I'm sorry, I just read miss you. Gilla says we miss you, Chade. You gotta come back, dude. I love. Seriously, I love Blacklight. I love the community. I'll never leave it until the game dies, but I can't play all that often, man. But yeah, there's a lot of games out there, and we'll talk about a couple of them, a couple of free to play first-person shooters on PC. But there are a lot that I tried to play and I just couldn't wrap my brain around because they're just so fast. Mm-hmm. And I mouse and keyboard for me is just so difficult. And it's funny. Well, we'll talk about that too. So I think now's a good time to jump into the R&R real quick. Kind of get through some releases and reviews, or reviews and releases, I should say. We always go through the reviews first. And since we missed a week, we're going to be talking about 2 games that came out, and so now the reviews are finally out for them. 2 of my most anticipated games. One did exactly the way I thought it would. The other one I wasn't sure, and it actually did okay. And I kind of wanted to talk about that a little bit. Let's just kind of jump right into it. And if you guys remember, now that I use this awesome OBS, I can switch over. Oh, look, now I can see the chat and everything like that. Now no, this isn't the one I want to show. All right, this is awkward because I don't know how to make it do, hold on. See this, I knew this was going to happen. I don't know how to make it go to this one now. This was, oh man. All right, forget it. It's not even worth it. Because I don't want to exit out of this.
Just put it in another tab. Just put it.
Good point.
Yeah.
You smart.
There
Oh
you
yeah,
go.
I'll put it all in one thing.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll be right back, guys. I'm gonna show you. I'm not gonna be right back. I'm just gonna show you guys what I wanted to show you. Okay, cool. Releases. It's time to talk about releases. There are 2 reviews that I wanted to talk about. The first one is Nier Automata or Automata. I have not gotten this game yet because I haven't had a PS4, but this is definitely 100% the next game on my list. This is my most anticipated game of 2017, and the reviews are obviously, the reviews are showing it. You know what I mean? Like this. So this is releases.com. I talk about this every single time because I love this website, and it does a Metacritic score. It is not Metacritic, but it does a meta score. So this number 90 is based off of 23 reviews, which is cool. It's not based off of probably the 100 and some on Metacritic, but it's good enough for me to kind of get a good understanding. And a lot of them are reputable sites. So I kind of take a look over here. But if I wanted to go to Metacritic, I could do that as well. But 90 is a 9 out of 10. It's a 9 out of 10. And just in case you want to like kind of see a similarity, we can go to Metacritic really quickly. And go ahead and go to PS4 games. And go ahead and go to Nier and you can see it's an 88, so 2 points down, right? 2 points down. This is based on 71 critics, so yeah, pretty awesome. I'm really excited for this game. Oh my god, I can't wait. Oh, I think you guys can hear the trailer too, which is cool. Awesome. So yeah, lots and lots of great reviews. User reviews are really high. Obviously, I mean, look at this. 139 user reviews. Not that big of a deal. But the critic reviews, I mean, 69 of them are positive. Only 2 of them are mixed. And I'd love to read those mixed reviews. But it's got a lot of 10 out of 10s, most 9 out of 10s. Really, really excited for it. But incredible game. I cannot wait. I've watched like quite a large amount of like reviews without like spoilers and things like that, and like there's no question in my mind that this is going to be one of my favorite games of 2017. I love action-based third person. You know, you
love Platinum games.
Oh yeah, and then there's sorry, it's made by Platinum Games, and then it's made by Square Enix. So like Square Enix, like even though they make a whole bunch of random games, like I don't even think you can question that they're the best JRPG maker of all time. Whether they make crappy games and then good games, they make incredible games. Like some of them suck, some of them don't. Like I mean, it's all over the place. Like you have Deus Ex, Mankind Divided, and Human Revolution, which is like a Eastern kind of style, not Eastern, Western style, like RPG. And then you've got Final Fantasy 15, right? So incredible games. And then of course the action was handled by Platinum, and I love Platinum. So I'm really, really excited about this. This game is also on PC.
Yeah.
You think you're going to give this a try, or?
I think I put it on my Steam wishlist.
Dude, I can't wait. I'm really, really, really excited. So, Nier Automata, that's awesome. Can't wait for that. The other game that I want to mention is Ghost Recon Wildlands. Now, this was also very high up on my list. It might have been my second most anticipated, and that's because, again, I love third-person action games, and I also love shooters, and this is the kind of game, Tom Clancy, Ghost Recon Wildlands is the kind of game that I would play with Phoenix, if you guys know Phoenix, Ballistic Phoenix, who's hopefully will be getting a PS4 sometime soon in the next couple months. We just kind of take games a little too seriously, and Ghost Recon Wildlands is like that kind of game, where it's like, it's really all about the people you play with. You can play by yourself, but a lot of people are saying it's just not worth it. But when you play with other people, you can kind of goof around and make have a lot of fun with it, or you can take it really seriously and like go on a mission or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, and then be like, okay, I think I'm done for today, and then hop out. And so I'm really excited for this. I won't be buying the game until probably, some, like, I don't know, it goes on sale or something like that, just because, again, I'm not going to play it without Ballistic Phoenix. So I also know that Mexican, otherwise known as Assassin, also really wants this game. And so when they get the game, I may also play it, because I played with the beta with them. That was a lot of fun. Have you looked into Ghost Recon Wildlands at all?
Nope.
Okay. Also on PC. It's on every platform.
I mean, I watched you play it, and I... angered you.
Yeah, fair, yeah. Anthony's one of those people that will, try and find, so this game's like this.
GTA 5.
Yeah. And I mean, in a lot of ways...
When I was watching it, it just made me think of GTA 5.
And that's fair. I understand why you said it. I just, at the time, I didn't want any backseat gaming. It was like the worst thing because I was like really into this game, really excited for it, and Anthony's just like, this looks like GTA. I'm like, all right, we're done here. So Ghost Recon Wildlands, yeah, it's gotten some pretty good ratings. But diving deeper into the actual reviews, it has gone anywhere between 7 to 7 out of 10 to like 9 out of 10. I haven't seen any 10 out of 10s. Like here, there's no like 5 out of 5s or 10 out of 10s. They're all like, yeah, like the game's good, but it's like missing this or that. It's a massive game. The multiplayer is so free formed that you can kind of do anything. Like if Anthony's at the end of the game and I jump into Anthony's game, we could technically play like the last levels. So it's kind of weird in that regard. So there's a lot of interesting things. A lot of people are saying you can jump in with randoms and like that's the worst idea ever. So it's interesting, and I know exactly how I want to play this game. I played the beta, so I know exactly how I want to play this game, and it is basically playing it with Ballistic Phoenix. So yeah, for sure. And I think it makes me feel the same way about actually Tom Clancy's The Division as well, which is really plummeting when it comes to its price, which is great because I did not want to play The Division. I know a lot of the updates have made it a lot better, and so when that game becomes like the whole everything edition is $20, I'll probably buy it, and I'll probably play it with Ballistic Phoenix. So they're just those kind of games. So that's all I really wanted to say about those two releases. There's one other release that I wanted to kind of go over, and that's Trove. Trove had been in beta for PS4 for quite a while on Xbox One, and now it has officially released. It's possible that it's officially released on the PC as well, but I think it had already been officially released.
It's been released for a while.
I know it had been in like beta for a long time, but it might have been like officially released there as well. Kind of like Killing Floor. Killing Floor officially came out for every platform the same time it came out for the consoles. But Trove is a great game. I love Trove. If you like the idea of Minecraft, but you like more action-based games, Trove is perfect. I know 2 people that recently played it that you guys probably know, Heaven Clone and Mexican, again, those as Assassin. Both of them played Trove a lot, or have played Trove a lot. They like have their own like faction or clan or something. I don't 100% remember how that works, but they played it a lot and they had a lot of fun with it. And I'm really excited to kind of hop in with some friends. And this is kind of a game that anybody can play. It's a lot of fun. And now that it's like officially released, hopefully there are a lot of bugs that was in it. So I'm hoping that those are fixed. Like I couldn't play with people that weren't in the US. That was really frustrating. So hopefully we can kind of get that fixed. I also wish that this game had crossplay. So like I'm usually like really against crossplay because if you have a PC, if you're playing Blacklight and you had PC Blacklight players versus PS4 Blacklight players, it would just be unfair. Like the skill cap is so different, right? Like the best PS4 player is going to have a really hard time against the best PC player because their like hand-eye coordination with a mouse and a keyboard just allows them to be more accurate. So, like a really good PS4 player against a mediocre PC player, yeah, you're probably gonna get crushed. Like the PS4 player's probably gonna beat them. But like at some point, the gap just gets big, strictly because of physical limitations of a mouse and a keyboard, which we'll definitely talk about. But Trove is a PvE game mostly. It has PvP as well, but I don't think it's very popular.
It's an action anyway.
Oh right, yeah, good point. So I think Trove would be awesome to have that, just to have a bigger player base, but we'll kind of see what happens. But I did want to mention free to play, so I think everybody should go ahead and give this a shot. But glad to see more people are joining the chat. Assassin's here. Assassin, I was literally just talking about you. Awesome. I forgot. Yeah, woo! But glad that you guys are here. Cool, Killa, glad you're still here as well. Assassin says Ghost Recon is fun. Awesome. Assassin, I'm literally getting Ghost Recon to play with you and Phoenix. I don't know if you heard that comment or not. I definitely want to play with Phoenix. It's our kind of game, but playing with you on the beta was a lot of fun. So hopefully we'll be able to play that. Killa says it's not fun. I mean, I think everybody has their own, everybody has their own thing. So, I mean, I think Ghost Recon's going to be fun. Not everybody's gonna think it's fun. Kind of like how I don't think GTA Online is fun, but a lot of people think it is. I think it's really boring and kind of annoying. So, but yeah. So, Butter Brian, glad to see you're here as well. He says that Trove is fun. I'm glad that you think Trove is fun. I think it's fun as well. And yes, Oreos rules. What's up? And Assassin's Creed says PvP is garbage. Awesome. So for Trove. So all right, cool. So that was the release. Sorry, the reviews, the R&R, the reviews. Now it's time to talk about the releases So games that are coming out this next week. And there is only one that I really want to talk about. There are some other
Flat
games.
Out 4?
Actually, that game got like okay ratings. It got, so I don't know how much you guys know about Flat Out. I don't know if you know about Flat Out, but Flat Out is like a destruction derby kind of game.
Yeah, I do.
And it got really, really bad. The third one was awful. And 4 is kind of its comeback. It's a zany game, a very crazy game. It's not like Twisted Metal. It's more like Burnout, like the early Burnouts. It's even crazier than that. But just in case anybody's interested in the crazy driving games, Flat Out is out. But there are a couple that I wanted to mention. There was a game that had really good ideas but was more like a mobile game to me, and that was Styx. We talked about this before. Styx we got for free on PlayStation Plus, if you guys have that. And the stealth elements were a lot of fun, but the combat was trash.
I bought the game.
Ah, you failed. Styx was really bad, but the combat was this weird, like, swipe right! Like, it literally felt like I was playing a mobile game. Like, it was really, really bad. And now, the new one, you can actually, like, run away from enemies, so, like, you can always try and kind of do stealth. But the reviews have gone fairly well. It's got, on releases, it's got a 7 out of 10, or 71, so that's good. And I watched IGN's review. I didn't watch any other reviews because I wasn't really interested, but they were like, yes, Styx made a way more improvements over the first one, and the stealth elements are great. Like, the stealth elements were great in the first one.
Yeah.
It just, the rest of the game was just honestly trash. So I'm glad that they threw out that trash, recycled some of the things that were recyclable, and made a lot better game out of it. The only other game that I want to mention before we mention the one game that we're going to talk about probably for a little bit is what game?
Sniper Elite 4.
That's the 21st. That's not next week.
Oh, never mind.
Oh wait, no, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, I messed up. I was looking at the wrong thing. Oh, that was last week. Oh, those games were out. Oh, I messed up.
Sorry.
Oh, dude, I totally messed up. All right, I read this wrong. That's okay. Well, there's a game that came out that I kind of want to talk about, but just because, like, for a minute. So Styx is already out. Sorry, that was obvious. There was a review. I just talked about the review. But it's Momodora. It's a game that was on PC that has been released for PS4. It's an incredible, it's a niche style of game, but it's side-scrolling action. Like you don't usually see side-scrolling action. You'll usually see like side-scroller platforming, but side-scrolling action is like one of my favorites. Strider for the PS4 or the PC is an incredible game. I platinumed it. I don't know if I platinumed it, but I loved it. I beat it, so that says something. And it's incredible. And it's a side-scrolling action game. And Momodora apparently is a really, really, really great side-scrolling action game. There's a game called Shanti as well, if you guys know that. It's a side-scrolling action game, but it's like less on the action and more of the platforming. I like more action, less platforming. So if the platforming's fluid, awesome. But kind of Metroidvania games that have awesome mechanics, that kind of stuff. But Momodora is out, and I'll probably buy it, even though I have it. No, I didn't really, because I don't really want to. It's not that big of a deal. But now that I know that this is coming out next week, thanks for letting me know that. I was not paying attention at all. Oh, and actually, this is the game already came out. This is DLC. But even so, it was helpful. I was working out the wrong thing. The most important game that I really wanted to mention is Tokuden 2. I'm just kidding, but Tokuden 2 is actually Tokuden. I don't know if you know what Tokuden is. Do you? It's a Monster Hunter game. So it's not Monster Hunter, but it's Monster Hunter is weird because it's never on any console aside from like weird Nintendo consoles.
3DS, DS,
which I get. Like I totally understand. Like it's around the community. Like they get together like in places and
if they
Monster
made it
Hunter.
for PC, I'd play it.
Right. And so Tokuden is on PC. Tokuden is on PS4. It's a PlayStation game. It's a second party. So it's not a first party. So they make it for PlayStation and they make it for PC, which is awesome. So Tokuden, wanted to mention that. But that's not actually what I wanted to mention. I wanted to mention Mass Effect Andromeda. So Mass Effect Andromeda.
Oh my god.
So we talked about this last stream. So I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about this on the stream right now. But we talked about this last stream because I am not a Mass Effect fan. I don't like playing Mass Effect. I do like Mass Effect though. Like I like watching it. I like watching Gamer Poop about it. I like Mass Effect Andromeda. I like Mass Effect as a series, but I just never liked playing it. I don't like playing any BioWare games. I tried to play Dragon Age Inquisition. I thought it was cool. But it was too long. It was too long, and the action wasn't actiony enough. I'm an action-oriented guy, and if it's not action, I want tactics. It's either tactics or action. I don't like these in-between things. It pisses me off. So Mass Effect has always been not good enough when it comes to like a third-person shooting. And I know it's gotten a lot better, but it still wasn't good enough. And then Mass Effect Andromeda, I watched a lot of gameplay for because they did a full gameplay series, which, shout out to EA. Yeah. Like, seriously, like, you knew you needed to do that. And people are giving this really good ratings when it comes to the gameplay. They're like, the gameplay is really, really good. Like, the gameplay is solid. It all feels really fluid. The people are saying, which is high praise, by the way, that Mass Effect Andromeda's co-op, its online co-op mode, is Horde with jetpacks. Like, real Horde. Like, Horde is in, like Gears of War Horde.
I mean, Mass Effect 3's multiplayer was good.
Yeah, again, I didn't like the gameplay of it. But,
yeah,
we do, but
I mean,
correct.
if it's like an improved version of that.
Right. Yeah. But, I mean, I know that I like Mass Effect, or Gears of War's Horde mode. Like, we've talked about that before.
Of course.
And so the fact that people are like, this is literally like Gears of War Horde with jetpacks, that's a good thing. Like, they were literally, they were like, this is good. So I'm really excited about stuff like that. And I can give it all the praise I want for its gameplay and things like that, but people buy Mass Effect for the story. People buy Mass Effect for the cinematic views and all these things, and those two last things I mentioned apparently are falling very, very short.
Really?
Yes. So the first one is
so disappointing.
The first one, I think the one that's most memeified out there is the animations.
Oh, the animations.
So there's an issue with the animations.
Oh, it's so terrible.
And a lot of people are just saying, and I had mentioned this to you before because I had heard people talking, some murmurs in the industry overall, that people were like, I think this game is being rushed. Remember I told you that a long time ago, and I didn't know. I was just like, I think I've been hearing that this game might be rushed. Like, I think like the director of the game like went on hiatus for a bit, and then like some of the major players like left and came back. Players are creating the game. So some of the major people who were working on the game left and came back. There's like a lot of weird things going on in the industry, in the company itself, in BioWare, and it seems like that's the case. It seems like maybe this game was rushed out, even though it may have taken 5 years.
I have no idea.
I think 5 years. Like. I mean, yeah, no, it's 5 years because Mass Effect 3 was on PS3. Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate. There's a ton of animation issues. So, literally, if you type in Mass Effect Andromeda animations...
I mean, you can, there's probably a ton of YouTubers that have already...
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Take a look at any major YouTuber and that's talking about Mass Effect Andromeda, not as a review. Maybe like a some random video.
Just wait till Donkey does a video.
Oh, yeah. If you guys don't know Donkey, he's really funny. He does, videos, comedy videos on games. Sometimes he does reviews, too. They're still comedy-oriented, but they're still actual reviews. But it's fun. It's funny. The animations...
It's so weird. It's so dumb.
Yeah. I don't even want to say it anymore. I don't even know what else to say about it. It's just not good. And then...
it still looks like... It looks like a game that you can get in a few months, and then it'll probably be worth it. Yeah, so they already mentioned looks
bad. The game was out for early release for those who have EA access. So a lot of people have been playing it, and they were like, when the game was officially released, we won't be having a day one patch for animations. There are going to be a day one patch, but there is going to be a day one patch, but not for animations because that's what most people have been complaining about. But that's not it. Story has also been a major point as well. So it seems like the community's a bit split on this. It seems like half the community's like, no, it's still a fun game. And to give you another example of what I'm talking about with bad animations, the walk animation. Well, I don't want to try and find it and dive into it, okay. But the walk animation is bad.
So bad.
The walk, it's
crab walking.
Right.
It's literally crab.
So even if you're sitting there and let's say you do the story and you're like, wow, I just had a really great conversation with this lifeless face. Even if you somehow closed your eyes and were like, okay, he's done talking, and you opened your eyes, then the walk away that character will do completely draws you out of it. But if somehow you were able to cancel out all the animations and you were able to still take the game seriously,
I mean, maybe the battling, the combat animations and all that stuff is fine. It's just the stuff that looks weird is cutscenes and regular walking around.
Normal animation, like facial animations are really bad. Even some of the there was a cutscene where a guy's trying to punch a guy and it just doesn't look like it even happened.
Oh yeah,
that's so bad. But the story seems to also be getting flack as well. Some people are saying that they're the story's great. It's still Mass Effect. Other people are saying no, I don't even want to continue playing this game. That's what I'm surprised about. Mass Effect has always been, even though it gets flack for random stuff. 3 probably one of the most people trash that game. But they still played it and beat it and loved it. You know what I mean?
I was very disappointed with the ending until they fixed it.
Right, but people still loved it. You know what I mean?
But
people
I still love the game.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
This game, people are I don't want to keep playing this. I don't feel like I want to keep playing this game.
Look, kind of like the Assassin's Creed series.
And that is the direct comparison that a lot of critics are making. Is this game kind of feels like it's taking a turn for the worst when it comes to Assassin's Creed, and that's unfortunate. And it's really unfortunate because this game's been in development for 5 years, and so it sucks. I guess kind of my final thoughts, and I kind of want to hear maybe a little bit more of your thoughts because you play Mass Effect, you played all of them, and for me, I think it's kind of sad overall, but at the same time, I was not going to get this game until the Ultimate Edition with all of its DLC comes out, and again, maybe it's $60 with its Ultimate Edition is $60, or its Ultimate Edition is $50, $40, right? Knowing that everything is fixed, because I can't, if a game doesn't look good, I won't be able to take it seriously. So I don't know if you have some more.
I'm definitely, even if it wouldn't matter, I wouldn't buy a game that was. I'm not going to buy games at launch pretty much because I'm not going to pay $100 for a game and its DLC. I'm not going to pay $80 for a game and its DLC.
Yeah.
Maybe if it was The Witcher. If it was The Witcher 3 before there was DLC, I think I would have bought it at $60. But I don't do that with games.
No, I think it's a good point. I think good.
And that's ignoring anything about the game itself.
Yeah, I was going to mention. I think that's
any issues.
I think it's a side point, obviously, and we've talked about this a little bit on the channel. But highly recommend not buying games until big AAA games that there's already a DLC plan for. Just wait. One of my most anticipated backlog games. So a game that I know I'm going to play, but has been out for a long time now, is Watch Dogs 2. Watch Dogs 2, really high ratings. People are saying the game's really great. I still haven't bought it yet because I'm waiting for that extra Ultimate Gold Edition, which is already out. I'm waiting for it to drop to $40, and when it does, I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna be this game is great, and I can play. The great thing is if you have a group of friends, even if there's a small group of friends, and they're all they want games, they like games too. Again, I'm really happy to have Ballistic Phoenix is one of my best friends and somebody that I can play a lot of games with on PS4. And recently now, Anthony and I both play, are starting to play more games on PC. So we can buy a game at $10, and even if it sucks, which we'll talk about, we don't care. It's oh well. I recently bought a game. I recently bought 7 games for $15. I'm not gonna play any of them. I don't care. Yeah, I don't care. It's $15. That's a meal. Hey, you want to go out and get a pizza today? How about we just go buy a Humble Bundle? Okay? That's basically what happened. And it's imagine if you bought that game at launch. Imagine if you bought Mafia 3 at launch. Imagine if you bought Battleborn at launch. After you do it so many times, you're okay, I'm done now. So anyway, that's a good point. I'm glad you made that point.
But just speaking specifically about Mass Effect, it doesn't surprise me too much that there are a lot of problems just because as much as I loved Mass Effect 3, there were still definitely just absolutely stupid problems that shouldn't have happened. Especially with the ending that shouldn't have happened. So the idea that things like this could happen doesn't surprise me that much.
Yeah.
And then hearing the news about the hiatus thing, that was just kind of a mess, just makes me think, I wouldn't expect it to be a great launch.
As a game, it kind of reminds me of Fallout in a lot of ways. In a lot of ways. I mean, as a game, I mean, it's an RPG with shooter elements.
Yeah.
And I think there's been big iterations. This is its fourth game. This is Fallout's fourth game. Granted, Fallout started in a very different place, but I think it's weird because you'll see some issues and it's like, why aren't these fixed? Like there will be like a big gap and it's like, wait, what? Like why isn't this game like a million times better? Like sequels are great. Like one of my favorite sequels of all time is Borderlands 2. Borderlands 2 did it right. Like I just don't understand like how people mess that up. But a lot of you guys are in the chat, which is awesome. This is great. I know Butter Brian left. Sorry. Sorry, I missed that you had to go. Bye, Butter Brian. See you later. And LPS is here. Great. I'm glad that you're here, LPS. Yes, Oreo's Rules. Glad you're still here as well. And Assassin, of course, glad you're here. Oreo says, I love Mafia 3. Assassin says, stop lying. Just side note. Mafia 3 is not a terrible game. It's just boring. Like, the story is incredible. But, like, you're just doing the same thing over and over again. I'm not saying that it's like a terrible game. Like it's like yes, Oreo's Rules. You literally just like you hit the nail on the head. I still need to finish a lot of side missions. Like yeah, you do, and they're gonna be the same side missions over and over again. Like that is boring. Like to me, I hate that. So like I didn't want to. But that's a different story. So I think it's time for us to go into the topic of the day of today's GearCast. We went through. Oh no, there's one other thing. We went through releases and reviews. That's good. One other thing I want to mention. Sorry, I completely forgot. There's one sale going on for PlayStation today. So I wanted to go ahead and just share that with you guys real quick. It's a Batman sale. So if you guys go to the Play Store, what? That's Google. If you guys go to the PlayStation Store, you'll see. Didn't mean to do that. You'll see a whole bunch of things on sale. It'll look like you have 3 pages of stuff. But that's because it's going to show you like PS4, PS3, PS Vita. So click on PS4. You'll still get 2 pages, and then just do games and bundles because there's a ton of add-ons. So really, there's only 4 games on sale, and I don't really want to talk to you guys about like add-ons. So probably the best deal here is Lego Batman. Like Lego Batman is $6, and like if you love Batman, if you love Lego games,
any Lego game is great.
Yeah.
Any Lego game that I played is great.
Yeah.
And it's $6.
And it's got co-op and everything in it, so like highly recommend if you guys like Lego games to buy it, or if you like trying to play with someone, that's a good game to buy. But in terms of the best quality of game, there's a lot here, like a lot. So Return to Arkham has the first and second Arkham games, so it's a remaster, which is great. I heard that it wasn't great, but it's been a while, so they might have patched a lot of things, so that's always good. And then there's Arkham Knight Premium Edition. So everything that the Arkham Knight ever came out with is in this edition for $18. So if you guys have never hopped on the Batman train, I'm actually not a huge Batman game fan. I don't know why. I'm really not sure. Like, I love Batman. Like I just can't get behind it.
I think when I play them, I think they're good games.
Yeah, I mean, people love
not great games. Just I think they're good games.
I mean, the Arkham games have incredible ratings.
And I enjoy playing them. Yes,
but
definitely.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't like counter-based co-op. That's one thing. Counter-based combat. That's one of the reasons I really can't stand Assassin's Creed. Is I don't feel like there is a skill like that it's revolved around. Like Batman does a way better job at it. Like at one point I for Vampire Peaches actually I played a challenge that they had to do for like doing all these counters, and it's a lot more fluid and a lot more fun than Assassin's Creed is. But it's also like a lot more counter based than Assassin's Creed is. Granted, Assassin's Creed its combat sucks. So anyway, long story short, 4 awesome games on sale. 3 really, and then bundle for 1. Highly recommend checking it out. These are all really great really great games, and they're all at really great prices. So again, Return to Arkham literally has the first and second game, so highly recommend it. Okay, cool. So now it's time to jump into. Assassin, I'm sorry. I will leave your Assassin's Creed alone for now. Dude, I'm sorry. I hate Assassin's Creed. I'm sorry. Like, it's one of those games.
I played Assassin's Creed. I liked it.
There you go.
Eventually, I was just like, oh, this is the same game.
I don't like it. I'm sorry.
Also, some of the stories for the games were just like terrible.
If you watch Donkey's review or Donkey's videos of Assassin's Creed, that's exactly how I feel. The way that Donkey feels about Assassin's Creed and Battlefield are the ways that I feel about Assassin's Creed and Battlefield.
I don't know if I've seen
the Battlefield 1 is exactly how I feel about it. We'll watch after this. Okay, now it's time to get into the actual point of this video, which, again, if you've noticed the title, it's PC Master Race, !, exclamation point, with EinTaxi, otherwise known as Anthony, my roommate. And the reason that I want to talk about this is because, again, I have not had my PS4 for a week and a half-ish, and I do have it now, but I played PC games exclusively. So I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about my PC, if something you guys were interested in. So I wanted to talk to you about like what's in my PC, and then what I'm using to game, and then talk about my actual gaming experiences. I did create a video about this, but I decided to scrap it because it was just too much work to edit it. Again, it's very difficult for me to edit things right now. But so I figured I'd just go ahead and do it here, and kind of do like a whole GearCast about it. I know that we're already like pretty deep in terms of time, but if you guys are willing to stick around and learn a little bit more about PC gaming and my thoughts about it, EinTaxi's thoughts about it, awesome. So let's do it. I've got a list up here. I'm not going to go through all of this stuff because this was my script for the video. So talking about my spec sheet. So for those who, this is like, a lot of this is for Drugan because I know Drugan's a PC player. But so I run an AMD FX 8370. For those that know what that is, it's an AMD chip. I believe it's like the best current. So before Ryzen. So the brand new chipset for AMD. I basically have the best AMD chip. The best consumer-grade AMD chip, which isn't great. But it's not bad. I mean, it's good. It runs everything that I need to run. I've never been bottlenecked by my CPU. I've definitely been bottlenecked by, like, my RAM. But, like, not actually, no. I've never been bottlenecked by either of them. I've been bottlenecked by maybe my GPU, but we'll talk about that in a second. The reason I've never been bottlenecked by my RAM is because I've got 16 gigabytes of DDR3 RAM, so I don't ever really have a problem there. And then I've got two 1 terabyte hard drives in my rig, and I've got one 2 terabyte external drive, and that external drive is really just for like movies and images and stuff like that, which I'm probably going to clear out pretty soon because I don't really need it all that much. So I'll probably just use it for like raw footage, like that I use to like maybe edit videos later on, or if I want to like save videos, which I'll probably be doing a little bit more once I get some more free time. So hopefully that'll be cool, but I don't really use it for too much. I can also throw it in my PC as well. Now that I think about it, I guess I could just take it out and put it in my PC. Yeah, I might just do that instead. So yeah, and then of course I run an NVIDIA GTX 960, which highly recommend the card if anyone's starting like a budget build. At this point, it's probably like $150 or something like that. It's really inexpensive. Yeah, and yeah, it's a great card. So that's my build. I can always talk about my build at length. Hopefully today, maybe we actually will probably be switching out the cases. So that'll be cool. I've got a massive case, and I wanted to bring it to a smaller one. But the second most important thing, aside from the actual rig itself, is what I use to game. So I gotta make sure I actually read these correctly. The Razer Deathstalker wired gaming keyboard. It's not a mechanical keyboard, which is actually really frustrating. I hate wires. And so I hate the fact that this even has a wire. And if it does need to have a wire, like I'd rather have like a really nice keyboard. You know what I mean? Yep. So I actually did backed a wireless mechanical keyboard, which are very rare to find. And then it also has backlights. So and it lasts for I think like 8 months or something like that on a charge. So it's more for like, at some point in my life I want to be able to do like setup videos and things like that because I love tech, and it would all be centered around gaming. But it would be cool to kind of see if I actually like it or not. But at one point I would like to replace this with an actual nice mechanical keyboard, or just a nicer normal keyboard. So we'll see about that. And I use I love this mouse. I'm not gonna lift up my keyboard. I mean, I guess I can, but like it's also really dusty. But the mouse is a Logitech MX Master. and it's Bluetooth and wireless. I actually love this mouse. The major reason, you guys can see, is that it's got 3 profiles, so I can actually switch. So right now it's on my PC, but I can literally press this button and it'll go to my MacBook for that I use for work, and then I can press it again and it'll actually work for my phone. So I'm not really gonna show you guys, but I'm just gonna show you because I think it's cool. But just really quickly. Sorry guys, this is literally for me.
What?
Yeah, no, I love it.
I've never seen anything like that.
So that's cool. That's another reason why I like Bluetooth keyboards.
You could use a mouse with a phone.
Oh yeah, Android has like a lot of PC features. But what's cool is like if I had a Bluetooth keyboard, which I do, right, that one over there. Like at one point I was using exclusively wireless stuff, and then I would switch. Like I could literally just switch like from here to my phone and just like work on my, which is pretty cool. I like it. But also I use a 1440 ultra wide monitor, and it's 3440 by 1440, so it's ultra wide, which is 21 by 9, and it's large. It is a 34-inch monitor, very very large monitor. I love it. I literally can fit 2 like full paper sized paper, which is like 4x3 I think or something like that, screens like on both sides of the monitor. It's awesome. I love it. It's a Dell. I can't remember the actual model number. I didn't throw it in here. But if anyone's looking, like if anyone is a PC player, highly recommend. If you're going to make an upgrade, I don't recommend moving to 4K. I don't recommend moving to 4K. I recommend moving to ultra wide.
I don't think unless you want to pay a lot, I don't think you'd want to get a 4K anyway because your graphics card wouldn't be able to handle it.
Yeah, if you get the new like 1080 Ti,
yeah, if you want to spend that
or the new
money.
Vegas, like go for it. But like otherwise, like 4K is cool. Don't get me wrong, 4K is awesome. Like if you're like a video editor or you like video, it's worth it. And you can always downgrade your stuff. Like you can always play a game at 1080. But ultra wide, I have a 960, and we were playing a game which we'll talk about in a bit. At full settings, 1340, or 1440, like it's awesome. It's really cool to have that full widescreen experience. It's like having 2 monitors, but with no bezel, so it's awesome. That's basically it when it comes to like what I play with and what I play on and things like that. So just mouse, keyboard. I do utilize my controller, and we'll talk about that. I actually don't use it wired. I'm just charging it right now. I use it wireless. I have Bluetooth, and the Bluetooth's right in the back of the monitor, so I have really very very small amount of lag. I use my Blue Yeti mic when I'm talking on the mic, usually to Anthony using Discord. I've got this pair of Hi-Fi Men HE 350s. 350s are specific to Mass Drop, which we can talk about later if you guys are interested in audio stuff.
I'm pretty sure you got the monitor off Mass Drop, didn't you?
Yes I did. Yeah, I love Mass Drop. If you guys are interested in talking tech, let me know. I love tech. But just checking the comments real quick, or the chat, just because I've got before we jump into the actual games.
Seems like they're still talking about Assassin's Creed.
Geez, that keyboard is super gamey. This keyboard is like a gaming keyboard. It's like straight up a gaming keyboard. And the lights are green. It's Razer, and it's not RGB. It's just straight up green light, which is fine. One of my favorite colors is green. I think I want my setup to be black and wood. I'm a huge fan of wood. Like I don't know how else to explain it. Like I like the color of wood, and I like black, so I like those 2 things. I don't mind like grays and stuff in it as well, but otherwise I like lights are fine. So like blue light is cool as well. So like maybe like adding some accents with blue light and stuff like that. But I don't really like green is fine now. But I mean again, the keyboard's cool. Yeah, that's basically it. The color of my mouse is black, and it has like some brown accents or like some bronze accents, but it's not really noticeable. It's basically just a black mouse.
It looks black and gray.
Yeah, and you can get like a white edition as well, which is really cool. Not that I don't like white accessories and stuff. It all gets dirty and stuff. Yeah. I have a Google Home, again, more tech, that is like off white and gray, and I think that's fine. I like that.
Okay,
but,
Google.
No, why would you do that in the middle of the stream? Oh my God, now she's gonna talk. All right. Anyway.
I don't know how to help with that.
Yeah, that's my home. Anyway, so best game ever. AC, we guys still talking about Assassin's Creed? Look, we can do a whole stream on Assassin's Creed if you want. No, I'm not doing a whole stream on Assassin's Creed.
We could stream Assassin's Creed.
Nah, I'm not. Oh yeah, and Oreos. Yes, I do have control freaks. So just in case you're interested, yeah, I have two controllers, and I have control freaks on both of them. I cannot play without control freaks. I know that is probably, so you probably don't even know what control freaks are. They're just like
pads.
Yeah. I love them. I cannot play without CQC control sticks. Like, I can't. So, just putting that out there. Like, I will literally grab a controller and I'll be like, what are these? Like, why are these so tiny? And like, I use the CQC ones because I'm a CQC player. Like, I always play close quarters. And then if I need, if I'm playing, sniping, that's fine too. But like, that's not my normal thing. So like, I'm usually up close, like, making really quick turns. And like, God, I love that. It feels so good. Anyway, and the grip's just great. I have the CQCs and the Purple Galaxies. Dude, all right, we're nerding out way too much about control sticks. But okay, so we're about to. I'm not going to look at the chat, but we're gonna dive kind of deep into games that we've been playing. I'm gonna try and bring up the websites of these games. That way, you guys can kind of see what we're talking about. But so we basically first started out playing a lot of free-to-play games. I just happened to download a lot of free-to-play games early on in my gaming career, I guess, back in college. And one of the first ones that we played was a game called ZMR. And you're going to hear me say the same thing over and over for a lot of these games. This game was
amazing.
Good. Not great. Not terrible. Not bad. It was good. It was fine.
I don't even know if I'd say it.
You say it's fine?
I'd say it was okay.
Okay, all right. It was okay. See, so
I don't give it a good.
I don't do rating. I don't usually do ratings on the channel. Usually, I do like money. I'll talk about like how much it's worth. But like, like this is a free to play game.
5 or a 6.
Oh, a 5?
Yeah.
Oh, I wouldn't give it a 5. It's
Did
a free.
You go lower?
No, I go higher.
Oh.
It's a free to play game, so I automatically sit there and say like it's like if you don't have. I mean, it's different, right? This is what's so interesting. We'll talk about this. But PC gaming, there's so many free-to-play games. Like, thousands thousands of free-to-play games. Like, so it's interesting because it probably is, looking at the rest of the landscape, it probably is a 5 or 6. But for someone that comes over off of a PS4, it's like a bad 7. That's like a bad 7 or a high 6. Like, because it's like, the game's not bad. Like, it's playable. Like, it's fine. Like... And it's like, I mean,
the way that I look at it is like a 6 or a 7, in my mind, seems like this is actually worth playing to an extent. And this game, to me, was not worth playing.
Yeah, so for me, it's not because I have 6s and I have 8s and 10s or 8s and 9s that I don't play. You know what I mean? Like MGS 5 is like a 9.5 for me. And I didn't like play it. Okay. MGS 5?
Huh.
MGS5 is an incredible game. There's only a couple things wrong with it. Yeah. Like, I think, all right, maybe I give it a 9. Maybe a 9 or a high 8. But even so, like, it took me a while to, like, play. There are some games I love and I just haven't beaten. Like, I think Stories is a really great game. I think Bastion and Transistor is one of my favorite games, like, of all time. I've never beaten it. Like, I just think it's an incredible game. I just never beaten it. But anyway, that background for my ratings. But I'm actually shying away from the ratings because I'd rather use CR expressions. It's okay.
Like, literally the best way to explain it is knock off free-to-play Gears of War hard mode.
Yeah. I wish I could show you a little bit more.
It is so identical to Gears of War, except for the burly men.
Yeah. So it's I mean, it's basically you just go out and you just shoot stuff. Like that literally is how I feel about it. You just go out and shoot stuff. Like, I want to see if I can show you guys like a quick clip of what the gameplay is like. This is doing it too much justice.
Yeah, like, way too much justice.
It's not this fun looking. Like, it's really not. But I mean, so it's called Zombies, Monsters, Robots, and you literally just go around and you kill zombies. The zombie mode is literally zombies from Call of Duty, but third person. The like normal mode is like which is that like second mode we played. It was like it's just like horde mode. Oh no, I'm talking about the first.
Oh,
the
okay,
first one
okay.
where we literally just went out and shot stuff.
Yeah.
The first one we played was like zombies. We didn't play together. Then the third one, which I actually liked. Like I liked the idea of it. Was like you started out at a specific spot, and it was like play a mission basically.
Yeah.
But like the farther we got into the mission, the more annoying it was. Like they could have just made it shorter and more action packed. It would have been fine. But then like we were there for like an hour. We were like, what is going on?
It took a while.
This is boring. Like random people would join the game and like we didn't know what's going on. And then the worst part was the free to play aspect started to kick in really hard. Like
I don't remember.
we played so we played a boss, right? So we beat the first mission, and we get to the boss and we just started dying. Like,
wrecked.
We never die in this game. Like we just destroyed everything.
Never died.
In the very end,
boss, it's just like
this boss is like flipping around, doing all these tricks, like, and I'm like, what's going on? And we had a party of 4, and we all died like at least 5 times. And then it was like, at some point you're like, oh, they're gonna want me to pay to buy lives. And I think because the game's so old, we had like 50 lives, like we had like 50 stock. But like it was a bit painful after a while. It's unfortunate. I think this is one of those games, and this is what's so hard for me as a PlayStation player. This game, I think, if they cleaned it up a little bit, like put some polish on it, got rid of some of the bugs, dialed down a little bit on like the free-to-play aspects, like make it make more sense, I think this game would do fine on PS4. Like I think if it was optimized, I think it's another thing is like, well, we'll talk about that. Actually, I have a whole segment on that. So, but yeah, anyway, I think the game was okay. I don't actually really want to review the game or anything like that. I can always stream games for you guys if you want to see ZMR. It wasn't terrible enough that I wouldn't show you guys what it is.
I wouldn't enjoy streaming it.
Any last words you want to talk about for ZMR? Yeah, all right. I mean, I do. I know we're kind of talking about these games abstractly, so it's a little difficult. But yes, Oreo's Rules asks. Oh, you guys can actually see it because I'm here in the chat. Do you play Tribes Ascend? And actually, I have played Tribes Ascend. I played Tribes actually on Xbox Original, and then I did play it. It is free. It's not a free to play game. It is now free. That game is awesome. That game, it's good. It's good. But it's PvP only, I believe. And we'll talk about our PvP experiences later. Okay, so the next game that we played was a game called. I think this was the next game, right?
I think it was actually the first game we played.
No. We definitely played ZMR first.
100%. Then it was the second.
Yeah, because we bought this game. Remember?
Yeah.
So the next game that we bought was a game that you guys actually might be familiar with. That's because it is on. I don't know. That's because it's actually on PS4 and Xbox One, so it is on console. And that is Warhammer: The End Times Vermintide. And I'll show you guys what that is right now.
Trailer gives it a lot more justice.
Yeah. So this game is not. This game is definitely better than ZMR.
Yeah.
But it kind of suffers from a lot of the same things that ZMR does. It is a paid game.
It kind of got repetitive.
Yeah. It's basically a clone of Left 4 Dead.
Left 4 Dead.
Yeah.
Except medieval times.
Right. It's a good clone. I think this game is good. This game is not great. It's not bad. It's better than okay.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
It was just one of those things where it's just a grind fest. And it's not a very fun grind fest.
Yeah.
Like it's just, for me at least it was like I think there are a couple issues, and again we'll talk about this even more in depth. But this is kind of, I guess this is like me kind of going into it a little bit. This was the first game I was like, mouse and keyboard is I'm struggling with mouse and keyboard here. So that was a little difficult. I think mouse and keyboard made me. It made me feel like the game was like, ooh, this would be really good on console. It is on console. So I started playing with console, with my controller, and the controller for some reason would only emulate. It recognized that it was a controller, but it was basically emulating a mouse and keyboard. And I'll explain that a little bit more later, but basically when I wanted to play with my controller, I couldn't really do it. Like it didn't feel correct. And so I would go back to mouse and keyboard, and I don't know, it just didn't really feel that fun. Like, I mean, it is just going against hordes. Literally, this picture says it all. There's just a whole bunch of rats that come at you. It's Vermintide, right? There's a whole bunch of vermin coming after you. And so you basically kill these vermin with different weapons. Different characters have... every character has ranged and melee. which is cool. I do like that aspect of it.
Yeah.
But then it just kind of gets like repetitive after a while, and it's just a loot grind, and you just kind of keep going through, and it doesn't do anything very well. Like it does, it's good, but it doesn't do anything.
But it doesn't look amazing.
Right. Yeah. See, you can see. Yeah, it looks good. Yeah, it does look good, but not amazing. Like, yeah, exactly. Like, it's almost like I'd rather just play like Oblivion with like a horde mode in it. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I would totally play Oblivion.
But like, you know, it's fine. Like, it's a good game. I think it's a good try. There are no games that are like this when it comes to like melee combat. Like, you know, horde mode melee combat. And if there is, let me know. Like, maybe I'm missing it. But there are melee combat first-person games. Chivalry, which is on PS4.
Oh, Chivalry was great. I love Chivalry.
Yeah,
I'd rather play Chivalry with friends than this.
Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, so that's about it. That's the only thing I can really think of. But yeah, so I don't know. It's okay. Class-based. It was all right. Definitely a better experience than the first one. But there were a lot of some frustrations. All right. So the next game that I want to talk to you guys about, let's see. Just checking out. Whoa, sorry. Side note. Zoom, you asked if I work at Hardsuit Labs. I do not work at Hardsuit Labs. I would love to work at Hardsuit Labs. I'd love to move to Seattle and work for Hardsuit Labs. Feel free to tweet at Lord Alf and let him know that I'm willing to work at Hardsuit Labs. But I don't. I do like working not on or with Hardsuit Labs, but like I like Hardsuit Labs as a company. Like I follow everybody that's on that company on Twitter. You know, I like to, you know, kind of asking Oreo if he works at Hardsuit Labs. Oh, sorry, Zoom. Sorry. Thought you were asking me if I worked at Hardsuit Labs. Just kidding. Back to the content. So
I got a really important thing about Go.
Oh, Go! I didn't even see that. Go! You're going to prom. All right, dude. Everybody, dude. I hold on. I gotta type this out. I'm sorry. Congrats. At Go. Yeah, no, congrats, Goat. I didn't realize that you're going to prom. That's awesome, dude. Congratulations. I remember when I went to prom. I loved it. Enjoy it. Just make sure you have the mindset of enjoying it, because sometimes people get emotional and there's a whole bunch of drama at prom. Mm-hmm. But you don't need that. Yep. Just enjoy it. Go and enjoy it. Awesome. All right. Anyway, so with ZMR, Vermintide, I played. I'm not even going to really bring this up. I played a free-to-play first-person shooter called Warface, and you actually might recognize that game as well because it was on, I want to say Xbox One or Xbox 360. But this kind of suffered from the same thing that Vermintide did. When I tried to use a controller, it didn't really let me do it, which was really weird because there's a console version of this game. It was a good game though. It's basically ZMR's like normal like mission based structure, but first person. And it is a good first person game. Like I actually think it's better than ZMR, 100%. I don't know if it's better than Vermintide. I mean, it's just a different game than Vermintide. It's not a horde based game. It's a mission based game. Like you go through and like you know kill people, and it's PvE. It's PvE focused. It has PvP, but it's PvE focused. I played PvP and I was very bad at it, which we'll get to. But and it was fun. But I think it's PvE actually is fairly good. I would like to play that game with you at some point. I'd like to at least try it out. But it was okay. I played it like one night. I had played it back in college, so I had played it again now, and I was like, yeah, this game is okay. But again, I had to get used to mouse and keyboard, and that was not easy for me. And different shooters, we'll definitely get into this. Actually, it's the next thing we'll talk about. Different shooters have very different keyboard layouts, and I don't understand it. Like, yeah, perfect example is the next game we're going to talk about. Let me go ahead and pull it up for you.
The next game we're going to talk about is a huge exception.
Well, but then there were other games that I played that had different ones. So we'll talk about it. But let me go ahead and bring up the game for you guys.
Should we start with the actual game we played first?
No. I mean, we can just go to their major studio.
Yeah.
I mean, that might make sense. Basically, we played... we'll just go to their games thing instead. Cool. So we played a game. We did not play DayZ. We played Arma. We played Arma 2, the ultimate military simulator. So for those if you're a PC player, you know Arma. Like if you're Drugan, you know Arma. If you have even touched a PC and like played first-person shooters, you probably have heard of Arma. Arma is an incredible game for many reasons, but it is also way too much and way too hardcore for me. It is it's a sim. It's not a first-person shooter.
It's a like full-on military simulator.
Yeah, it's
not like a shooting simulator, military simulator.
Yeah. So like you're like directing your units. I think the coolest thing about it is like it's got incredible third and first person gameplay. Well, the third one does. I mean, so I don't really know how much to explain it aside from the fact that like it. I mean,
the best way to explain it is it tries to literally make a military game as close to as what the military is. Like, they pretty much try to emulate real life in the military.
Yeah, Arma 2.
No, Arma 3.
Well, Arma 3 has some like advanced elements. So
yeah.
There are things about it that like are not like it's like Call of Duty. Like sure, like if you play Call of Duty like 3 or Call of Duty like you know like, yeah those are like they try and make them more realistic. But like Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. It's like obviously about like space, And I think in Arma 3, I think there are things that are like, okay, well this doesn't. I mean, even just the training, right? The training.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but in general, yeah, definitely military sim. But you guys can kind of see like you can go in first person, you can go in third person, you can fly vehicles. It's imagine like Battlefield 4 on crack. Like
Battlefield 4, but difficult.
Yeah, Battlefield 4. Right, Battlefield 4, but like just sim. I mean, it's more of a sim. And less of a game.
It's not arcade.
Yeah, I almost want to say it's like less of a game and more of a sim. But it's cool. It's definitely cool. I think there are a lot of awesome aspects to it. It's definitely like you wouldn't. It's not a bro shooter. It's not a bro shooter.
No.
It's it's just a sim. It's a military shooter. Like I don't know how else to explain it. But it is cool. But so our issue with this is that we played Arma 2. And we tried to play Arma 2, and we basically couldn't. So we tried to play it multiplayer.
Oh yeah, it was just
we couldn't do it.
It was just really glitched and stuff.
So that was a massive failure. And then we tried, so then I like tried to play. We like kind of figured it out at one point, and then like I also played the tutorial. And it was interesting just because like I tried to play with my controller, and like it has weird controller support. And it basically, again, emulates mouse and keyboard. And it works, but, like, not that well. And, again, I'll talk about that later.
The main reason, as in, like, with the keybinds?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it actually... Oh, yeah. So, So, in Arma, there are so many controls.
Pretty much every...
Yeah, you basically use the entire keyboard. So, surprisingly, it maps well to the controller, but they don't tell you what the controls are for the controller.
Yeah.
So one of the cool things about Arma is that there's a context menu. And it's cool only because there's so many things to do and there's so many buttons. Otherwise, it's not cool. Otherwise, it's just annoying. But, like, basically you can go up to a car, and instead of just getting in the car, if you're playing Battlefield 4, you just hop into the car.
Yeah.
But if you're playing Arma, you can hit the context menu, and it's like, get into the car, get into the back seat of the car, like, turn the car on, turn the car off. Like, there's all these different context things.
Open the inventory, see if there's stuff in the car.
Right.
And things like that.
Which is really, really cool. And you can probably tell, like this is a highly modded game. Like, people mod this game a lot because there's so many elements in the game, which is pretty cool. If you guys have heard of DayZ, that's where this comes from.
Arma 3, they literally have a mod manager.
Right. Oh, yeah. So that's pretty cool. I like that. But playing with a controller for some reason they wouldn't tell you what the controls were. So you could jump into the controls and like scroll through and like kind of find some of them, but it was like very, very complex. So I mean, and again, that's not a great excuse. Again, it's a mouse and keyboard game, but for me, it just wasn't really that fun. Like you had to be really into like wanting to play this military.
You also like, I don't even know if you did all of the training, but you pretty much had to do all the training.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't do all the training. Yeah, that was one of the things. Anthony played like all of the training, and then was like, "Yeah, don't even worry about it. Like, just play the first thing and like try it out."
I didn't think it would matter until it mattered.
We get into like our first mission, and I've got like 4 guys, and they're like, "What do we do?"
Like, hey, command the squad.
I literally don't know how to command a squad. I literally don't know how to do it. So the game's really old. If you just saw on the trailer, it said that it came out in 2009. So after we played Arma 2, or after we failed playing Arma 2 because we literally just couldn't play together, we played Arma 3. Now, Arma 3 is way better of a game. First of all, it's a gorgeous game. It looks really, really great.
Yeah.
The tutorial's way better.
The tutorial makes sense.
Yeah, it's all great. I mean, it's great in a lot of ways. And we had never actually played together, though, right? No, we never actually played together. But it felt a lot better. The animations were one of the biggest things. One of the biggest problems on Arma 2. In Arma 2, they had 3 buttons. Now it's 2 buttons. But they have 3 buttons for prone, crouch, and stand. So if you press Z, you would prone. If you press Z again, nothing would happen. If you press X, you'd crouch. You press X again, nothing would happen. If you press C, all of a sudden you'd stand. And if you press C again, nothing would happen. So in Arma 3, now they have X and Z just for crouch and prone. And if you press it again, you just stand up.
And C is for mounting your gun.
Yeah. So very, very different, right? I know it makes not seem like it's that different, but that makes a huge difference, right? Like you're making things a lot easier, more streamlined. Which, if you're thinking about or a shooter on a console, you would never have that. You would never have 3 buttons for crouching and going prone. You hold the circle button to go prone, you press it once to go to crouch, or maybe you double tap it to go prone, or maybe you tap and then tap it again to go prone. Like other than that, it was so unstreamlined. Some people would say it's more efficient because you can press the button you want to do that specific action, but the animations were bad. So it would not bad, but just very much like Z. Like it would do the full okay, time for me to get up and go over and just let me come over here and just crouch. Okay, now I'm standing, now I'm going prone, and it's just what do you do? It was super frustrating.
I mean, yeah, you have to wait for him to actually go down prone.
Yeah, which is which I mean, you have to also wait in Battlefield and in Call of Duty, you have to do those things.
Yeah,
it just wasn't fluid. It was I'm now prone, now I am picking my gun up again, now I am aiming again. Comparatively to go I don't know. It was frustrating. And Arma 3 fixed it. Arma 3, you could go prone, and it didn't feel like it was a separate animation. It didn't feel like it wasn't it didn't feel like I couldn't do things while doing it.
And we haven't even actually. We're just literally talking about prone and crouching. We haven't really talked about the gameplay.
Oh yeah, fair. Yeah, I mean, so it's a third and first person shooter, right? You can switch, and it's a tactical shooter. So the beginning of the campaign for Arma 3, which I actually might go back into because I was actually interested in seeing what was going to happen, was pretty interesting, and it's very tactical.
It's like let's just get rid of the nonsense that is arcadey Call of Duty, where you can just literally run around and gun people down. It's oh hey, it's no big deal.
Yeah.
In Arma games, you get shot twice, you're dead.
Yeah.
So which is supposed to be more realistic. That's the point of it. But you get shot. You get shot twice. If you get shot in your helmet, you'll survive. You're lucky. If you get shot certain places, then you're dead. If you in just aiming, it's just you can't just literally aim down the sight and just be oh, I'm gonna hit that guy 500 meters away. No. You have to compensate for sway. You have to compensate for wind. I guess wind isn't as much of a factor. You're not going to hit straight on every time because you just, in real life, you wouldn't.
Yeah, I would.
It's just a lot more difficult to actually hit stuff.
It kind of reminds me of the bullet mechanics of Sniper Elite. If you've ever played that, you have to take into account for everything. Unless you're playing on easy mode. You have to take into account for every single thing. The wind or Sniper Warrior, either of those 2 sniper games. You have to take into account for the wind. You have to take into account for the sway. You have to take into account for everything. And it reminds me of mixing a couple games. Sniper Elite or Sniper Warrior's bullet physics. It reminds me of Battlefield in a lot of ways, just the tactical gameplay. And then it reminds me of Call of Duty's hardcore mode, where you die in 2 shots.
And it definitely, you have to be a lot more patient. You have to be a lot more patient with enemies, because if you try to run, if enemies are laying down suppressive fire on you and just oh, I'm just gonna go run around and flank them. No, you're gonna die.
Yeah,
it's very real.
Yeah, it even reminds me of kind of just imagine any hardcore mode on any first person shooter that you've played.
Yeah,
basically just that's all of Arma normal. You know what I mean?
And I think the thing is, like, it's not. I think that's kind of why what drew me in is like it's not flashy and cool, but it's intense. It's very intense. The first time I was doing that training mission in Arma 2, I told you, I jumped out of my chair the first time a guy shot at me because I just like it was just like complete silence and then like a loud bang. I was like, what?
Yeah, even the first time I played, it was the same way. It was like I was like, oh God, what's happening? Yeah. And it's hard to get used to. And I think we both kind of acknowledge.
Actually, no. I mean, even throughout the game, as I did other missions, and guys shot at me when I wasn't like I didn't see guys in the distance, and they just shot at me. I just like. Jump. It was startling.
We both kind of recognize that, like, I think the biggest issue for us is that, this was one of my first forays back into.
It was a huge mistake.
All right, hold on, I didn't get to finish. This was one of my first forays. No, the one with the F. There's another word. Forays. No. Anyway, this was one of my first times back into PC gaming, and I decided to play Arma. You know what I mean? Like I'm not good at PC shooters. Like I don't know how. I'm not like I got to get used to mouse and keyboard. And like all of a sudden I was playing and like it was so hard. Like I was just like, what's happening? So it was interesting. I thought it was fun because it was like I could not figure it out, right? I think that's another reason why I said I think I would like to go back. I think it's tactical. I think it's fun. And
it was just definitely if you're switching from a console to PC, don't play Arma.
Yeah.
Because you're just gonna fail miserably.
Bad experience.
It's gonna be painful.
But
it's like the Dark Souls of shooters.
Yeah, I could. That's a pretty good.
Ignoring the fact that Dark Souls is beautiful and crazy music and everything. It's just like in terms of the difficulty.
Yeah. Again, I don't think that there's like a hardcore mode on Battlefield, but I honestly feel like that's a good comparison.
I think Call of Duty has.
Call of Duty definitely does. Yeah. Call of Duty, like you get shot once, like it's like they have like hardcore, then they have like death mode or something like. But that's not like a tactical game. Like Battlefield is a tactical game, so I think to some degree, and I think if you take Battlefield, because you have to take into account for scope sway and things like that. If you take Battlefield and you literally put it on a bigger. I know that sounds crazy. A bigger map with like third-person elements.
A bigger map is in literally a whole island.
Right. And then have like hardcore mode. That's basically Arma.
Yeah.
And then just make all of the controls really awful. Not awful, just a lot of things
complicated.
To do. And then like controlling squads and like all of this stuff. It was just crazy. I think that was another thing is like I've played a lot of Ghost Recon, not Wildlands, but a lot of Ghost Recon Future Soldier. And controlling your squad in Ghost Recon Future Soldier was a lot of fun. It was easy to do. Like you would just like go into this mode where basically like you'd highlight a zone and tell them to go somewhere and like focus on these guys. And like you can do that in Ghost Recon Wildlands as well. And in this game, it was like press like 1 for you, press 2 for the second guy, 3 for the other guy, 4 for the other guy. And there's a huge context menu. It was just all these things. And it's not bad. It's just you have to want to.
You have to practice.
That. Yeah, you have to.
It's like a game where you have to practice to be able to play well.
And I know a lot of people just play multiplayer. So I think in a lot of ways, it's also similar.
We didn't even get into that. Like I've seen people play Battle Royale. That's great.
No one knows what that is.
Battle Royale is, or I think they used to call it, what's it called? Hunger Games.
Mm.
You literally you're parachuted in or you're dropped in from and then no one has anything on them.
Yeah. So
and
survive.
Then you're just supposed to be the last ones to survive.
Yeah. Last man standing. Survive.
Yeah, last man standing.
Yeah. So almost every game has that now, right? Like Arma kind of made a lot of that famous.
In the same sense of like you literally have nothing. You have to go.
I mean, that's where like Ark like comes from. That's where like Rust comes from. All those survival games where you literally start with nothing, you go find something, and then you go and like
Although like in the case of Battle Royale, like the point is to like it's a round.
Yeah. There's a lot of games that like that.
Yeah.
I mean, H1Z1 is the same way. Like, I mean, what the DayZ obviously made after this. Very, very similar. So, I mean, that again, I think Arma is the one that kind of started that in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think the multiplayers are going to be a lot more interesting for Arma 3, which we had not played, to be fair.
Yeah.
So,
we also there's like with the mods, like people have created their own custom campaigns. So we might even be able to find a good co-op campaign.
We'll see. Yeah, I don't know. That's basically all I really want to talk about for Arma. The reason we talked about it so much is strictly because it was not that we didn't play it the most. I mean, I know you had played it a lot, but I had not played it much at all. But it had the biggest impact on me because that was basically when I was like, I'm not playing this anymore. Like I'm done. I'm done playing PC games. It was not the end, but I felt like it was going to be the end. So yeah, that's the only reason we took so long with Arma. I know. Did you play with mods on Arma? Brian, that's what we were just saying.
Probably didn't.
No, I did not play mods. I don't know.
I played a thing called Exile, which is like a survival, and they had it's pretty crazy. You can actually servers will put a ton of mods together. So one was like this Exile, which is survival along with zombies, or I think the mod's called Zombies and Demons. So I played that.
Cool.
It's also very difficult to get into a server because of mods. You have to have the exact right mods loaded into the game, or it's not going to let you into the game.
That sucks.
But there's some like launcher that makes it easier. But yeah, it's intense.
Interesting.
I never played DayZ.
Jordan, also glad that you're here. DayZ, I have not played either. DayZ's weird. DayZ was supposed to come out for consoles and like all of this stuff.
I still kind of want to play it.
Yeah.
I want to check it out. But I mean, I bet there's something on Arma 3 that's exactly the same. So.
Yeah, probably at this point. Yeah. Cool. All right. So let's talk about the next couple of games. So the next game I played, and I can go ahead and bring it up. I don't know if you've ever played this game, Anthony. I love this game. So this is what actually got me back into PC games, which is kind of funny. And so we talked a lot about like first-person shooters and these like free-to-play games. This game is called They Bleed Pixels, and I don't remember how I got this game. I think it was on sale. I think I put it on like my Steam wish list, and it was on sale for like very inexpensive. As you guys can see here, it's $10 usually. I think it was like $2.50. So I was like, yeah, why not? I'll go ahead and grab it. And it's great. Let me go ahead and show you. There's like new bonus stages. I don't want to show you new bonus stages. Whatever. It's basically a side-scrolling action game. As I had mentioned, I love action games. And side-scrollers are, like, it makes it simplistic, right? Like, you don't have to think that much. And it's a combo-based one, and it's a lot of platforming. Basically, think about... So it's actually, it's Cthulhu, right? So it's a Cthulhu-based game, and it's about a little girl, who basically, like gets thrown into the realm of Cthulhu and is, like, has to, like, get out. And it's awesome. So it's obviously very dark, as you can see, as she murders this tiny squid and pixels come out. But it's awesome. I'm hoping I can show you guys gameplay, but it doesn't. Oh, here we go. So yeah, it's awesome. It's a lot of fun. Here's the art style. It's very like simplistic in a lot of ways, but imagine.
Oh, I saw you playing this.
I love this game.
Yeah, it looks great.
Imagine Super Meat Boy, plus I don't know, plus just action. I can't think of anything that like has action like this. And yeah, this is. I don't know if you guys just saw it, but let's just go back real quick. Yeah, right. Oh, no, go back. Right here. Gamepad. It has full gamepad support, and that's what got me back in. To be honest, I literally just started playing, and I was like, "This is great. I love this game." Oh, interesting. They added a difficulty thing. Yeah, it's hard. It's fun. It's one of those games where like you play it because you want to get better and better and better, and the more you play, the better you get. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I like games like that. I like games that make me feel like I can figure things out, and like don't hold my hand or really. I mean, I like games that will teach me, but like the games get harder and like you have to get better, and like it's all combo based. Like there's literally only 2 buttons, and it's jump and then attack. And so if you like hold the attack button, you like kick someone. If you like that, that's exactly it. I don't know if you just saw the one. If you hold the button, she'll kick, and it's just awesome. I mean, it's just a really great game. I played it with my controller. I played it with my keyboard. Highly recommend this game. I don't know why. It's I don't
run on a 30-year-old one. Optimized for low-end machines.
Oh, that's cool. Oh yeah, I guess it can.
But
do.
It says
like
will not run on
30-year-old.
30-year-old 286.
Ah, that's funny. Yeah, no, it's great. It's a really great game. I really, really like it. So maybe I can grab some pictures, but it doesn't look like they open up or anything. But it's great. The art style is awesome. It's very simplistic, but it's just so much fun. Yeah, I played it. I think, again, this is what kind of like got me back. Here we go. This is what got me back into the PC gaming, because you can kind of get really, very bloody. You can kind of get like taken out of things like after, like you kind of get beat like by the system, you know? Like you're like playing with a mouse and keyboard, and you're like, this sucks. I suck. I don't want to play this anymore. And then I played a side scroller, and this is on PC, and like it was great. It was so much fun. And, you know, like platform. Oh, I remember this level. It was a good level. It's hard. But yeah, that's really all I wanted to talk about for this game. It was really after this game that we took, or I took quite a break, and then I jumped back in with a game that hopefully you guys saw me play, because I streamed it. So that was fun. And it's a game that I would love to see on PS4. I talked about it a ton, so I won't talk about it too much longer. But again, I highly recommend you guys check this game out. It's called Lethal League, and I love it. I love it. It is, how do I explain it?
Crazy.
It's 1v1 or 2v2.
2v2?
Yeah, you can do 2v2, yeah.
Huh.
It's 1v1 or 2v2, that. Literally that. You're a player, there's a ball, and you're trying to hit the ball to hit the other person. And it's awesome. It's so good. And I beat it yesterday. I never beat the game before. I hadn't played it much. But when I streamed it, I actually beat it with you guys. So that was awesome.
Is it like a Street Fighter kind of thing where you just beat different...
So it's very, very reminiscent of Smash Bros. Okay. So much so that actually the announcer is the Smash Bros. Announcer. But it's awesome. It's so much fun. There are different characters, not a ton, but there are different characters. You're seeing some of them now. There's, I wonder if I can actually show you guys the characters. I know you're seeing a lot of them now, but there's Raptor. He's a human, and he just uses like a bat. Actually, I'll go ahead and pause this. Yeah, up to 4 players. There we go. Probably should have just waited. Up to 4 players, so it can be 2v2 or it can be 1v1v1v1, which gets crazy. It's got a great soundtrack. I love this game. It's just so good. I hate Candyman. I love Candyman, but I hate him. There's Raptor. He's just like a normal dude, and he just has like there's a bat. Everybody has a special move. There's Switch. Switch is awesome. He rides a skateboard and hits the ball with his skateboard. Candyman, who is insane. As you can see, he's a mutated human. And his special is like to make the ball go through walls, which is crazy. So cool about this, everybody has a different angle that they hit the ball at, so there's like different strategies to kind of go through. Sonata, she's awesome. She has like literally like a boombox hammer. That's really, really cool. Latch, he's a cyborg crocodile. I call him Raptor because I always think he's Raptor because he looks like maybe he'd be a raptor. But he's Latch. He can eat the ball, that's his special, and then shoot it back out. Dice, he's my favorite. Dice is your dad?
Not just because he's a ping pong player.
Oh, I didn't know your dad was a ping pong player. But Dice is awesome. He's like one of my favorites. He's like, he plays with a ping pong paddle. And his special is he'll hit it and it'll like go in a curve motion, which is really cool. But it's great. You can see here that it's around $15-ish. I think on Steam though, it's actually cheaper. So if you want to get the DRM version of it, you can get for I think $10. But if you just want the game straight up, you can buy it for $14, or you can buy packs, which is cool. So you can always get friends together and buy a pack or something like that. And the soundtrack is great. But it's an incredible game. Highly recommend it. I've already streamed it. I can stream it again if you want. I love it. Really, really fun game. So that's what kind of got me back into it, as well as the Pixels. After that. What did we play next? Oh, yeah. Okay, so last 2 games we played recently. One you might know if you guys follow Nuclear Sharkhead because he just made a video about it. Also, this game is getting a lot of notoriety, I guess, just because it's made by a very popular developer or a very popular team. So the guys that made Gears of War, Epic. The guy that who was the game director for Gears of War, his name is Cliff Bleszinski. Cliff Bleszinski started his own studio called Boss Key Studios and created this game, Lawbreakers. And Lawbreakers is a first-person shooter. It's just straight up kind of an esports first-person shooter. Very fast-paced, very chaotic. It is hero-based in a way. I don't want to say it's hero-based. It's more like it's class-based. I don't know, role-based. I don't know how I would explain it. It's not hero-based because it's role-based. I guess role-based is a better way to put it. Basically, you either play the side of the law or you play the side of the breaker. And they did the same. So if you play as, I really wish I could show this. If I click learn more, will it show me? Perfect. So there's the enforcer. And you can play as Axel, who's an enforcer, or you can play as Kentaro, who's also an enforcer. But Axel's on the law side, Kentaro is on the breaker side. They have the same exact moves, they're just different, they're just different personalities. Very fast-paced, objective-based gameplay. There's a battery mode where you have to charge the battery and then take it to your, or charge the battery. Basically, it's to capture the flag, but like you have to keep the flag as well. There's like a domination mode where you hold points. Very fun, extremely chaotic.
I played a game or two. I had no idea what was going on.
Yeah, so
there's no idea.
So it's crazy. I mean, even if you just look at this trailer, it's nuts, right? Basically, you have a team of, I think it's 6v6, and the whole point is like defying gravity is a lot of it. It's all very fast paced, and you're basically do it. So that's the guy reminds me of. So you can shoot in front of you, right? You can shoot behind you, like that guy's doing right now.
I didn't know you could do that.
You can fly around with. There's all these like zero gravity spaces and these like gravity balls that you can kind of like move around. Every role has like different abilities. So the main guy, for example, the enforcer, I should say, has a normal gun. He has a grenade, an EMP that will stop people's abilities, and then he also has a barrage of rockets. Those are kind of his like. And he also has an ability that lets him run really fast and shoot a little bit stronger, which is really really interesting. So it's awesome. I love the game. It's crazy fast paced. In the beginning, I was terrible at it. Anthony can vouch for this. I was awful. I tried to play it. I was terrible. It was painful.
Also, the controller support was not controller support.
Yeah, what the heck? So the controller
is so weird.
This is kind of the major thing that we'll get into in a second. But the controller support, so it has weird controller support, but basically just wasn't working. I did fix it at one point.
I mean, it was working. It just wasn't working. Like.
The first time it just
wasn't real control. Oh, okay.
Yeah. The second time, yeah. So which was my fault. Yeah, the controller support, and this is kind of my point again that I'll make in a couple minutes, is that controller support just doesn't really like. It would allow you to use a controller, but there was no. For example, aim assist. There's no aim acceleration. And on again, mouse and keyboard, you don't need aim assist because you have 1-to-1 precision. Like, you don't need it. If you're using, you don't need aim acceleration, right? Aim acceleration means
you don't want acceleration if you're using mouse and keyboard.
So basically, if I push this over to the right, like it's just like it's basically like a mouse, moving like once, but instead it's like you keep scrolling it, right? So for a mouse, you don't have to have acceleration, right? Like, you don't need that. But for a controller, like, you want it to, like, turn and then turn a little bit faster, right? Like, you want it to move faster, turn around faster. I don't know if that makes sense, but you trust me, you want it, right? If you kept moving at the same pace to turn around, it would be really slow all the time. And that's exactly what happened on Lawbreakers. It was awful. Granted, this game is in alpha, I believe. Actually, it might be in beta now. And so hopefully they'll do something about that. It doesn't actually give a 1-up to controller players because, again, the skill cap of a good PC player way overdoes a controller player because, again, they have 1-to-1 precision. And we would not, right? As a controller player, I would not have 1-to-1 precision. I would not be able to play competitively, but I would be able to beat, someone who is good with a mouse. I'd be able to beat them if I was good with a controller. So hopefully that kind of helps. But it's a lot of fun. It's unfortunate a little bit, I would say, because the game was a lot more colorful before, and they kind of changed it to be a little bit more generic in terms of its color, but not generic in terms of its chaotic nature. So a lot of fun. Highly recommend playing it. If you can get into the beta, you just have to sign up. And it sounds like people are, getting into it. But yeah, different characters have different abilities. I won't go through them all. But this is an important game, and I want to mention that this is important. Why this is important. Was there a video for this? Cool. I want to mention why this is important. It's because I sucked at this game, and then I stopped trying to use a controller. I played a couple games. Anthony played a couple games. We both sucked at it. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to give this a couple more tries. So I played 3 more games. The first game, I was like, okay. Wasn't great. I was like, man, I was still getting crushed. But I felt like at least I could, kind of move around and shoot things. The second game, I was like, you know what? I've seen PC players play. I know it's different than playing on a controller. Let me see if I can figure this out. And I figured it out. And I actually played well. I did not destroy, but I played well. And so then I played my third game and I destroyed. And it was fun. And I didn't destroy because I was great at the game. It was because the other team wasn't very good. But it was a lot of fun. It's interesting. And we'll talk about kind of controller support and stuff more in a minute. But I would definitely recommend playing it. It was so much fun. And this is not a free-to-play game, by the way, either. It was supposed to be, and they changed so much about it. So now it's just a paid multiplayer game. And I think for good reason. I think they're putting a lot of effort into it. So anyway, that's Lawbreakers. So there's one other game that I want to talk about, and this is an old game, but this is one of the things I like about PC that is not the same about PS4 or any console really, is that you can play an old game and basically have it be awesome. So we're playing, if I can find the site for it. Interesting. There it is. Probably the site probably is just like a small site, yeah. We played Gearbox's Borderlands the pre-sequel. So we both love Borderlands. Played the first one. I did not like the first one, but I liked the idea of it. I just didn't like it. I was mad about it because I was like, this game is really boring when you play by yourself. And I played it originally with someone, and then I only had it by myself, and I was like, I don't want to play this anymore. Then I got the second one, and I will stick to this probably till someone else comes around and takes the title, but best PvE shooter of all time and best sequel that I've played in recent memory. I think Darksiders 2 might take better sequel because Darksiders 1 was not fun and Darksiders 2 was very fun to me. But Borderlands 2 was incredible. I almost platinumed it. I beat it multiple times. Yeah, multiple times. Played with my friends. Anthony, you played by yourself and you loved it. So, I mean, that speaks volumes, I think. For me, I probably couldn't play by myself, but Anthony liked it and played by himself, so...
it's kind of like Stockholm Syndrome.
That's fair.
That's fair. Kind of just get used to it, playing the game alone.
So we decided to get... I've had pre-sequel from Humble Bundle, and I saw that there was a Gearbox R2K sale, the publisher. And so I was like, hey, Anthony, do you want to get Borderlands pre-sequel? And what's great about AAA games... most of the time, and especially AAA games that are made for consoles, like made for consoles purposefully, right? Comparatively to a game being ported over to a console. This game is made for console and then ported over to PC. Works well with a controller. As it works perfectly with a controller. So I had to figure out some things, some finicky things, but once I figured it out, the game works perfectly with a controller. Has aim assist, has, acceleration, all that good stuff. So it works perfectly. And I love it. And what's great is I can play it on maximum settings, so it looks better than any... literally the best way to play Borderlands pre-sequel is to play it on a computer, because you can't get the graphic fidelity on a console. You just can't do it. Even if you played it in 4K mode, it's still not going to look as good, because I can, clock it all the way up to everything. And that was really cool. And again, I'm playing it in ultra-wide, and there's no way to play it in ultra-wide unless you have an ultra-wide monitor on a PC. So it looks awesome. And you'll never be able to play a console game on ultra-wide, unless they change that for some weird reason. If they all of a sudden start making ultra-wide TVs. But to be able to play a controller-based game on an ultra-wide monitor is unreal. It's unreal. Unreal, get it? Unreal Engine? Anyway.
Was it Unreal Engine? Oh, yeah, it was maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So, this is awesome. This made me be like, all right, I'm gonna play PC games. Because this is honestly why I built my computer. I built it to play Oblivion, because I couldn't play Oblivion anymore. Like there's no place for me to play Oblivion aside from an Xbox. Why would I want to play on Xbox 360 and play a crappy version of Oblivion where I can play Oblivion at max settings and modded, right?
Mods. Yeah.
Like incredible, right? Like so that's why I built it, right? Unfortunately, you can't play with a controller, which is stupid, but it's still great. I mean, it's a great game, and I can't wait to jump back into Oblivion. I say this every single day, but I still don't. But Borderlands pre-sequel is a great example of that. So much fun to play. Really glad. Just learned how to cheat again.
And Gearbox is hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh wait, we didn't talk about what was that other game we played together? But it was local co-op, the zombie game.
Oh my god! Oh, so there are two games. Actually, we'll get into that. There are two other games that we played that I really want to talk to you guys about. And sorry, I'm not really into the chat very much. Butterbrine says, Borderlands, the pre-sequel, gotta finish it soon. Yes, Borderlands, the pre-sequel is awesome. I actually couldn't play much of it the first time I played it when I had a PS3. And that was because I keep forgetting to switch back. And that was because it was just I was so tired after playing Borderlands 2 so many times. And Borderlands the pre-sequel is kind of like a more desolate version of Borderlands 2 because like it's like on the moon and like like it's just a lot of like jumping and like space like with a second person it's awesome. It's a lot more fun. But it was just hard for me to like wrap my hand around. And on PS3, it was just not optimized. Though if you have the Handsome Jack collection, it's probably really great. And if you have it on PC, then it's probably incredible. Because it is incredible, because I'm playing it right now. It's great. But aim acceleration killed any chance of buying a COD game. I don't actually know what that means.
For PC.
Oh. I don't know what that means either. I don't know.
As in maybe they don't have aim acceleration?
If they don't have aim... Better, Brian, definitely give us some information on what you're talking about when it comes to aim acceleration and COD. I don't know if you're talking about PC or if you're talking about PS4. Proud Noob, no worries. You're doing homework. Don't worry about it. Keep doing your homework. It's good for you. Or not. I don't know. I don't do homework. I'm not don't tell you not to do your homework. Anyway, yeah, pre-sequel, awesome. But we played two other games. And one that I want to mention, and I highly, highly, highly recommend, I actually will probably stream it, is Refunked. Refunked is a first-person, like, I don't want to say parkour. It's a first-person platformer for speedrunners. And it's beautiful. It's a beautiful game, and I love it, and it's incredible. And I would highly recommend trying it out, and I'll show it to you. And it was what started me playing the PC. It was the first game I played, actually. I forgot to mention that. And I played it on my Steam Link, so I do want to mention that as well. I can play any PC game on my TV with a controller, so that's awesome with the Steam Link. So that was fun. And going back to Butterbrine real quick, now it has stupid PS4 aim acceleration. So slow in the beginning, then super fast. You can change that in the settings. I'm not sure what game you're playing, but like for example, Black Ops 3, you can change the aim acceleration.
Pretty much any game on PC, you can change the settings.
He's talking about PS4.
Oh.
It has stupid PS4 aim acceleration. Okay. Unless you're talking about in PC,
yeah,
it has stupid PS4 aim acceleration. Again, give me more information. but yeah, you should be able to change it. I mean, you're right. It has a weird like aim acceleration. That obviously when you learn it. But if you don't learn it, you should be able to slow it down or change it. I could be wrong though. And then the second game we played. So the second game I wanted to mention was Contagion. Yeah, let me go ahead and bring this up for you guys. This is actually this is a great segue. This is a great segue into what I kind of wanted to talk about. So we just talked about a whole bunch of games. We just talked about my setup, everything that I'm using, all the games that we played. And so you're probably wondering, okay, like Chain Gear, like is PC good? Do you like PC? Is it worth playing? And my results are actually originally when I made this video, I made it before I played some of these games. Wow, this is awkward. But it's mixed. They're very, very mixed. I have a lot of frustration. And let me tell you what the frustration is. And we'll get into Contagion in that game in a minute. But the first thing is the learning curve. The first thing is the learning curve by far. When you're utilizing a PC or a controller, right? The number one difference, aside from the fact that you're using a controller, I mean, the fact you're holding something like this, are the triggers and the control sticks. because there is pressure, right? Everything is analog on, I don't know if that's the right word. That's not the right word. Everything is a 1 or 0. Everything is discrete the right word? I don't know. Yeah. Everything is discrete. Everything's a 1 and a 0, right? Either it's not being clicked, it's not being pressed, or it is, right? There is no force involved. So if you click, you click. So for a racing game, to move forward, right? To put gas, to put the pedal to the metal, right? To put gas into the car, whatever, right? To go forward, to accelerate, that's the word I'm looking for. To accelerate, you press down the trigger, right? And you hold it down a little bit, you go slow, you hold it down all the way, you go fast. If you're, playing Hitman Absolution, which many of you may or may not have played, if you hold it down a little bit, but there's a pressure sensitive thing going on. I can't remember what it is. If you're playing a third person game and you push the control stick up a little bit, you walk. There's a beautiful walk animation usually. I love walk animations. And then if you push it up, you start to run. In a lot of games, there's like a walk to running animation. So like you'll walk and then you'll jog a little bit and then you start running. On a PC, it's run. Like there is no. Actually, what they usually do is walk and then shift. Yeah. So they'll do walk, which is W, right? So WASD, the WASDs, right? If you press W, it'll make you go forward, and if you press shift, you'll run or you'll walk, depending on the game. So if you're playing a shooter, most of the time you'll walk pressing W, and then you'll run.
You'll run, but then you'll sprint if you hold shift.
Yeah, right. So depending on the thing, right? So if you're playing Call of Duty or Battlefield, there is no way to walk. You can only run and sprint.
There is. You just have to use a different keybind.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So you have to bind it, but it doesn't come naturally.
No, I mean, some games just you just toggle caps lock and you're walking, or Alt or some other...
Well, for example, the pre-sequel, there is no walking.
Some games just don't have it.
Right. I think the majority of games don't have it. The majority the majority of games don't, because it's not about... the majority of the time, there is no animation. The majority of the time, it's the running animation going really slow, and that just doesn't exist. You know what I mean? It isn't run, sprint, walk. Instead, it's slow moving to
I guess it kind of depends on the game, because some games is just we don't really care.
Right.
You don't need in Borderlands Pre-sequel, you don't need.
Or perfect example, you can't do that in Dark Souls. In Dark Souls, you cannot move at a different speed. You can't.
Yeah. You can sprint, but yeah.
Right, but there's no... From 0 to before sprint, there is no option, which blows my mind, right? You have all of these buttons, and but it doesn't matter because you can't change the force of something. So something that I recognized and something that was a little bit off-putting, but it was more, obviously the learning curve didn't come from that. The learning curve came from using a mouse, right? And using the keyboard. The keyboard more, I think. After a couple minutes of using the mouse, it's 1-to-1, so if you use a mouse, you kind of get used to it, so you're just oh, there it is, and you have to have the right sensitivity. Anthony set me up with the right sensitivity. I was getting trashed. I was I don't understand. It would be 100, it would be at 0, and then it's put it at 20, and I'm oh, this is nice. And then the keyboard, I think, is the hardest thing for me. I'm not a good typer. I'm not even good at English, really. I'm not a very good speller, so it always takes me a while to kind of figure things out on a keyboard. So I liked Lawbreakers because Lawbreakers, the WASDs are how you move, and then Q and E are how you use your special moves, which I think is the same thing in Overwatch. Yeah, which makes it really easy. I don't have to go up to 1 and go up to 2, and then I don't know. It's just and then go down to Z, go down to X, and go down to C. It's just my fingers on the WASDs, and then every once in a while I move up to do a special move. Maybe put my pinky down to Shift. And maybe move over to R to reload. And after you do it a couple times, you can get used to it.
Yeah, you get used to it.
It's not the same thing as a controller, but obviously it's the biggest thing, right? Going from Xbox controller to PS4 controller is hard.
Just I'm imagining someone going from PC and not really playing console at all. They're going to be playing a game, and they're going to be the game's going to be press the X button.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Because they just haven't played. Like, they're just not. It's the muscle memory's not there.
Yeah, I mean, even worse. For
you could
a
literally just put a keyboard in front of my face, but put something over my
head. Oh
head.
yeah.
And I'd just be like,
yeah.
What's the problem?
I mean,
just because I'm so used to it.
One of the cool things to do, what the cool kids do, is they'll buy blank keyboards. That's like super.
Oh really?
Oh yeah. For example, like a professional keyboard, DOS keyboard, all blind keycaps. So that's a very popular thing to do to have like a really nice clean setup. Is you just buy I mean, all keys are almost the same. Almost every time they're always the same. Especially if you get I think they call it a 10-less keyboard or something. So like you get rid of the like numpad and stuff. So it's like a very small keyboard and it's just all blank. You can always switch the keycaps too, but. Anyway, so that was very difficult for me. The learning curve was very difficult, but it wasn't until I played Lawbreakers, and it was the last 3 games that I started to get used to it. And it was fun. It was fun. It felt good. And a lot of it's sensitivity, which is difficult, but a lot of it's sensitivity. The second thing that I kind of had some trouble with, and I'm definitely going to rant first and then talk about the good stuff second, is multiplayer. One of the things that's difficult, on PS4, you hop into a party and you start playing a game. Even on PS3, you didn't have a party system. So you only had the option to jump into the game, right? So, for example, me and Ballistic Phoenix used to play MAG a lot, the first-person shooter, and we'd both jump into the game, and then we'd see each other. There'd be a list of your friends that were playing the game, and you would just select it, right? What's weird here is, like, everything has a different system. So Steam does not have a party system. So you can't use Steam, you can't use GOG, you can't use any launcher to like get into a party. So you basically have to use a third party. You have to use a third party application. So like we use Discord. So like we have to use Discord and then like have this party and then like jump into the game and then every single game has a different way of joining. Most of them are a lot easier. Like most of them are easy. For example, we were playing Borderlands pre-sequel.
Borderlands, it was really easy.
Perfect. It was like, this is your friend on Steam. Perfect. Done.
Yeah.
But let's say you bought it through GOG, which means you bought it DRM free. It's not reading anything.
You'd probably have to get like a Gearbox account.
Yeah, maybe.
And then add someone who also has the game as a friend through their Gearbox, like something like that.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I have no idea. Yeah. And then there's games like Arma, which is like, have fun with that. Arma was like, start a server and then share the server code. Like, the only way I was able to find Anthony was the fact that, like, we did a LAN server. So, like, it happened to be on our network. So then I found the net, like, that was a little frustrating. It wasn't awful, but it was frustrating.
I don't think it would have been as difficult if I had just jumped onto some server that already existed and then invited you in. I think it probably would have been fine.
Right, through Steam, right?
Yeah.
So it's interesting because you're usually utilizing 3 different platforms. You're using the game, you're using Discord, and you're using Steam. And it's just kind of weird. It's not bad. I mean, it's fun. It works. And in a lot of ways, there's a lot of options. And that's the third thing I want to mention is that PC just has a lot of options. And it's frustrating. Like, I know, trust me, like, there are good sides to things. And I will talk about the good things. But, like, there are so many games, so many settings, and so little optimization. So let's start with the games. I have a ton of games. Do you know how many games I have? I don't remember. I have so many. I'm literally going to open up right now. I have 369 games on my PC.
Does that include my games and other people's games? Oh, no. You have 289.
Yeah. So I have access to 369 games on my PC. And that's not all the free-to-play games, right? I have access to all the other free-to-play games out there, but I haven't downloaded them. But, like, these are all the games that I've ever touched. Doesn't mean I downloaded them and played them, but it might mean that I just, like, bought it or something like that. That's a lot of games. And gamer paralysis is real. Like, I've got, like, hundreds of games on my PS4, which is surprising. And, like, I'll sit down and, like, look at it, and I'm like, I don't know what to play today. That's the same thing here, but 10 times worse. Like, I'm like, Do I play ZMR? Do I play Warface? Or do I play the other 75 free-to-play games that all have mixed ratings? Like, what? Like, it's ridiculous. I mean, it's crazy. And there's no filters. Not that there are filters on the PS4. Let me be very clear. There are no filters on the PS4. You cannot go into the PS4 and be like, oh, I'm going to play, my shooters today. Unless you categorize them that way. Now that there's filters on the PS4, you can categorize them. And on PC, to be fair, you can do the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, you can put them in folders.
Yeah.
But you can't do it on Steam.
I think you can.
I mean, if you can, that's impressive.
Is there no way to do it?
No!
Aww.
Right! See?
And then I've just never tried.
Right, I mean, like, once you have, like, a big library and you're just kind of like, what do I want to play? I don't know. Like, someone like me, like, who collects games, I like having games. I like being able to play. If someone comes over and is like, oh, I'm really in the mood for this. Oh, I got this game. I got it. Like, or if it's like, oh, yeah, I've been playing this free-to-play game. Yeah, I downloaded that. Like, I love that. That's so much fun for me. And, like, having no way to, like, organize it was frustrating. And so then I had to look at the numerous amount of options that are third-party solutions. So I found one called Launchbox, which is pretty cool. I don't know if you've seen this or not. But Launchbox is awesome. Launchbox does it, but it's open source, so third parties do it, right? So everybody else in the world, open source, so other people can mess with it. And so other people are adding to this. It draws from Wikipedia, and it allows me to basically figure out what everything is. So I can go to all my multiplayer games. I can do all my... Because you can't even do that. You can't even be like, oh, where are all my multiplayer games? Oh, here they are. Oh, here are all my single-player games. Here are all my co-op games. Oh, I could show you guys, I guess. Yeah, I can show you guys. This is Launchbox. So basically I can look at all my games through here. And it just copies my background. You can change that though. But these are all of my games with all of their art. And this is all, it takes a while to actually get it to go because it has to literally download like all of its art and all that stuff from Wikipedia or from databases. But it's awesome. It works. And I can search up any single game. So like if I want to look up like Black Mesa, right? I just type in Black and there goes Black Mesa, Black Flag Retribution, like right there.
Giannis Twister's Twisted Dreams?
Yeah, there's no co-op games. There is a multiplayer game. And there is 2 single-player games. Awesome. It's called metadata. But for some reason, Steam, that has a giant store, doesn't have that. So
the Steam store also is not the greatest thing for filtering.
Yeah, so the Steam store I find is fine. I think it's better than the PS4 store. I mean, well, it's not better. It just has more options. But there's also more games on the Steam store. So like, so you need more filtering. But I mean, I think that's a problem with games overall, is that we have a really bad system to filter and find the right things. But yeah, that was super frustrating. Super frustrating. So yeah, so many games, so little filters. And then the next thing is that there are so many settings. And that may seem like a cool thing. And I think that's what bothers me, is that's the argument. So obviously I'm a PC player. I am a PS4 player. I don't care. But you'll get into an argument every once in a while, and someone will be like, yeah, man, PC, because I got so many options, man. I can, like, overclock my PC and get the highest graphic fidelity. Yeah, if you paid for it. like, I'm just saying, like, basically, I don't have a 960, and it's always, okay, what do I have to turn down? Every time. It's what do I have to turn down? It's not what can I turn up? The game, when I play, it's not what turn up. When I played Borderlands the pre-sequel, it automatically figured out that I could play everything at the highest settings. Great, awesome, okay, done. And then if something doesn't work, it's like, the game's a little laggy, turn down. The game's not working great, turn down. Like, it's all about figuring out the optimization. That's not fun, that's annoying. When you're on a PS4, you don't have to do that. When you're on a PS4, it just goes. You don't have a choice. Unless you have the PS4 Pro, then you have 2 choices. I mean, maybe sometimes you have like 3 or 4 because it's like you can do 60 FPS with 1080p or like, 4K mode with 30 FPS or uncapped with 1440. Like, sometimes they have all those. But like, those are obvious, right? It's like, you will be able to run all of these. Which one do you want? And it's like, I want better graphic fidelity. Or I want 60 frames per second. This, it's like, all right, have you turned off ambient inclusion? How about G-Sync, C-Sync, Z-Sync? How about FreeSync? What kind of monitor do you have? I don't know. I can't read it because this is not a pre-built computer. Like you can't optimize. That's the next thing is that you cannot optimize for a PC. It's impossible, right? You can only optimize for the things in a PC. So, for example, which, why I go with NVIDIA most of the time, when I say most of the time, I mean all the time, is NVIDIA has a lot of money, so NVIDIA works with game companies to optimize their games for NVIDIA. So when I run NVIDIA Game Force, which is their another launcher, it reads what my game is, reads my graphics card and the rest of the settings in my computer, which I built, right? This isn't a pre-made Alienware, some pre-made computer that
I don't think it would have mattered, honestly.
No, it doesn't. But some computers will have software to help you. Like this is just like I'm using everything is mine. Right? There's nothing to help me. It's all just me. And so, like, there is something cool about that. There is something that's like, I built this. This is mine. I'm figuring it out. But, like, screw that, dude. I just want to play my games. And, like, it's frustrating when there's, like, controller optimization. This was one of the things I was going to say. Controller optimization. Like, why put controller optimization in? There's no reason. Even though everyone's like, and then when everyone will be like, I remember the number one thing when I used to help run a gaming community back in college, PUG, Purdue University Gamers Group. It was awesome. I loved it. A lot of PC players. I was the biggest PlayStation player. And they were like, dude, you built a PC. Like, why are you playing PC? And I was like, it's just hard, man. Like, I don't want to learn mouse and keyboard. You can use a controller. Nope. Not really. Sometimes you can. And then when you go online and you're like, how do I use a controller for this? Basically, it's just a whole bunch of people being like, yo, you're such a noob. Why would you use a controller? And I'm like, because I like it. Like, perfect example, Warface. Warface is a PvE shooter. And people are like, oh, why would you use a controller? Use mouse and keyboard. It's better. I'm like, who cares? It's PvE. I'm not even fighting people. I'm not even going against people. You might be able to beat me in a PvE game. I'm not saying let's play League of Legends with a freaking controller. I'm saying let's play a PvE shooter. Oh man, so fun. If you can't tell, I'm frustrated. I hate that shit. Oh, excuse me. Woo, almost freaked out. I hate that. I might have cursed already. I don't know. I don't remember. But I hate it. Real mad. But it's not all bad. I love controller supported games. Like I said, when I play Borderlands the pre-sequel, this is the best way to play it. Literally. There's no better way than playing it unless this monitor was even bigger. Like, there's no better way to play it. I'm on an ultra-wide monitor on the highest settings. There's no better... I guess maybe if you had a 5K computer screen monitor and
And a 1080.
right. Like, a 1080 Ti, like the actual graphics card, not 1080
Oh, yeah.
resolution. It's awesome. It feels great. There are so many options. That is a great thing. Like, sometimes. When I think about the
aspect of, there's so many settings, and you have to turn down a bunch of stuff, you can put, a game on medium or low, and it will still look better than on a console.
Yeah.
Because of the settings. So, the settings are too high, maybe, for what you have, but they'll still be better.
See, I think
it does depend on the game.
Right. I think what's cool about that is, depending on the game, right? That's not going to happen for, my PS4 Pro is... Honestly, my PS4 Pro will outdo anything on your computer because it's 4K. So if I have a 4K game, it will look better on mine. Strictly because you don't have a 4K computer. It may not run as well.
Well, yeah, that's
you could. Yeah, you might be able to run it faster, but but this is kind of my point. Is it doesn't it's all about how do I turn things down and make it work better, and medium and low settings isn't always better. I think it can be, but it isn't always. So for example, if they port over Lawbreakers to PS4, Lawbreakers is a very demanding game, so it probably will just look worse on a PS4, but not a PS4 Pro, and that's where. PlayStation and Xbox, they're whoa, we got to get into this graphics game. We've got to be able to offer more power because that's the only differentiator that's big on comparatively to computer versus console. Yeah. But I think you're right. No, in a lot of ways you are right though. That's the options are off. The fact that I can play Borderlands the pre-sequel here compared because I can play it on a PS3 too. I don't have my PS3 with me, but I could play it. I don't have it right now, but I do have access to PlayStation Now. And I could play Borderlands the pre-sequel on PlayStation Now. Why would I do that? Why would I stream 1080p version of Borderlands the pre-sequel when I could buy it for $10? How much did you buy the pre-sequel for? $15?
$15 maybe.
And I'm like, we're running it at like highest settings, right? Yeah. We're running it at super ultra mega time force, like
with the NVIDIA physics,
right,
which makes physics better.
So it is really cool to have that option. Like I bought Castlevania Lords of Shadow because that was one of my favorite games. I bought Darksiders 2 because I can play those games on ultra settings on an ultra wide monitor with a controller, and I think that's really really cool. So I think going back to my backlog and playing things is really awesome. I'll probably never play a console game on a PC. Like I'll never pick it over. Like I'll always play my console games on PS4. Like even if it's out on PC, unless it's an Xbox game, because I'll buy Xbox games on PC. But yeah, I think that's really awesome. I think, and again, when the controller works, it works. When it's a PC centric game and it has no controller support, that's fine too. And there are games on PC that aren't on PS4, and there's a massive catalog that you don't have. And so if you look up the best free-to-play games, and you can play them, like there are tons of MMOs that you can play that you can't play on PS4, though that's changing. But right now, how things are, I mean, there's a lot.
You couldn't play WoW on a controller. I mean, I wouldn't play WoW anyway, but I feel like you wouldn't be able to play something like WoW.
I don't know. I mean, Terra's coming to PS4.
Really?
Yeah.
But like, I've seen.
Diablo's on
all the different options of different things you can do and abilities.
See, I think
it just goes so far stretched.
I think the issue a lot of the time is that the games are made with that in mind.
Yeah.
But when you port it, then you have to think differently about it. So like, I think when a PC player goes, "Oh yeah, WoW would never work," like I'm on my mouse and keyboard. WoW would never work on a console, but like. They said that same thing about Diablo. Diablo works perfect on the console. And I love it. It's an incredible game. Yeah. I beat it twice. Like, I think it's great. And I think, I think games, now you're seeing lots of MMOs come to PS4 because, like, for example, if you have key bindings 1 through 9, like, you have a face button right here, or the face keys, which is 4. You could multiply that by 4 if you wanted. You could have 16 because you could hold down R2 and have a whole bunch of buttons. Hold down R1. And that's actually how they did it in Dragon Age. In Dragon Age, they allowed you to go ahead and hold down L1, L2, or R2, and then all of a sudden the face buttons would change to different abilities that you had mapped. And then you could press both of them, and you'd have even more abilities. So they had 12 abilities that you had, able to use. And then it's like, do you even need all those abilities? And if you do, then yeah, you can map them that way. There are different ways to do it. I'm not saying it's perfect for sure. And I do think that every controller, every next generation, whatever the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox 2, or a Scorpio 2 or whatever it's going to be called, should always have paddles. I think every single controller needs to have paddles. I don't have paddles, but I think they just need to add more inputs. That wouldn't be difficult to do. Yeah. But in general, I think streamlining games is not bad. Either way, though, I think the ability to be able to play games like that in a complex manner is awesome. The fact that I can play World of Warcraft and have all my skills, not that I play World of Warcraft, but like Terra, for example, which I cannot wait to come on consoles, is awesome that I can do that if I want to. So I think that's cool.
Yeah. I think that you're gonna be you'll have frustration with keyboard and mouse. You'll get used to it.
I might.
You might not think you'll get used to it, but if you play it enough, you won't even think about it.
No, I agree. Yeah, I mean,
like
same thing
right now, it's probably like, oh, this is really frustrating when I can't play a controller support game. But then you'll play it on keyboard and mouse, and you'll spend enough time playing, and you'll just be like, oh, whatever, it's fine. It's like you won't even think about it.
Yeah, I mean, I think
because I went from Xbox 360 exclusively Xbox 360 to getting a PC, and yeah, I sucked at PC at first, but I'm playing for PC for years now, but still, it's not a big deal. And right now, if you had me play a PS4 game, like a serious one, not like some party game that we played, like Overcooked or something. If you had me play
Destiny,
Destiny. Actually, I did play MGS a little bit. No,
yeah, I did play MGS5.
But if you had me play like COD or anything, I would suck.
Yeah, Blacklight. I would be. Stream. Can we do a stream of you playing Blacklight?
I would be terrible. I would be so bad because I just don't play with controllers.
Yeah,
it's just a matter of condition.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't think it's just better or worse in a lot of ways. I think a lot of people think one is better than the other. I think most people think like controller or keyboard and mouse are better overall, and I still just don't think that's the case. Even if it does have 1-to-1 precision, that doesn't make the game better. And again, it just makes it less streamlined in a lot of ways when you're using a keyboard. So I think, again, pros and cons. But good point. But yeah, no, like I said, I like it. I think that, like I said, there are a lot of games on here. I think the farther we go with these generations, I know we're so over. We probably went this is like 2-hour stream, 3-hour stream. But the farther we go with computer and console, the more games will start getting ported over because we're getting closer and closer, right? Like, so Terra, old game, but a game that people love is coming to console. Like, that's perfect. That's awesome. Why do they believe Pixels and Lethal League not, or why are those not on console? I have no idea. No idea. Literally, no idea. Zero. But they should be.
Yeah,
right. Like, Lethal League is the perfect console game. Like, why is it not on there?
I thought it actually was originally a console game.
Right. I mean, nobody plays with mouse and keyboard. I mean, people do, but like most of the time, people just plug in Xbox controllers. So the closer we get to that, where they're so similar, and it's really just about the exclusives and the experience. Yeah, more controller support would be great on a PC. More games to be streamlined on a console would be great, right? But for now, mouse and keyboard is fine when you start figuring it out. Lawbreakers is awesome. And hopefully it comes to console. But I will play it on PC. Yeah. I mean, that's basically it. I mean, I don't really have too much more to talk about. I mean, I'm not done playing PC games.
Contagion?
Oh, I completely forgot. Contagion. Before I talk about Contagion, I wanted to talk Butterbrine. Oh, Butterbrine. I will definitely talk about. I will talk about watching your stream using my DIY screen projector. Oh, Butterbrine. Okay. I will talk to you guys in a minute about, or maybe I'll make a separate video about it. I don't want to take up any more time. But anyway, last thing I wanted to talk about before we kind of wrap things up is Contagion. Another game that we played. Apparently, I can't. Apparently, I need.
It's got a great website.
Flat. Yeah, this website sucks. What is this? Oh my god. Anyway,
this is like a 2000s website.
This is awful.
Or 90s.
All right, a little bit better. Can I open up the screenshots?
I guess you can.
All right, this is a terrible screenshot. Oh my god. All right, this isn't helpful, guys.
See if they have a YouTube channel.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
Early beta. Right. Oh, that's what you didn't see the selection screen when you scroll by and they all just come up. It's really funny. So it's a survival game.
Built on the engine that Half-Life 2 is on, I think.
Maybe Source Engine too.
Yeah, Source Engine. Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought it was a lot of fun. Like I think this is what I think is interesting about. Another thing I think is interesting about PC is that PC is open. You can't. Console is more open than it was before. I think to a fault, actually, where there's a whole bunch of crappy games on it now, and it's annoying. This game is not perfect in any way, shape, or form, but it was fun. I think I had the most fun playing this game. Like, I didn't have fun playing any other game aside from like Lethal League and all those, and aside from Borderlands. This game I had a lot of fun playing. Like, I mean, I played with my control. First of all, it was split screen, which blew my mind. But there's split screen.
It was kind of split screen.
What do you mean? It was split screen?
Just remember with the phone.
Oh, it was jank. Yeah, it was super jank.
There was so many random glitches.
But there was a split screen.
Yes.
I sat on the right hand side, Anthony sat on the left hand side.
Yeah.
I used my controller. Anthony used, which it had perfect controller support, which was really weird. Mm-hmm. The fact that this game this is like an indie game. Like, this is like somebody randomly made this game. And like, it's like, I used my controller, perfect controller support. Anthony used mouse and keyboard, and it was fun. Like, we literally just went through and just killed stuff, and oh, I forgot they do that. That's what happened. Remember your NPCs do their stuff? That's funny. Sorry, we're like reminiscing on the game. But yeah, it's like a scary kind of game where you're like...
it's kind of Left 4 Dead-y.
I don't want to think it's not, I wouldn't say it's Left 4 Dead. I would say a different zombie game, but not Left 4 Dead.
Or kind of like a survival game.
Yeah, it's more...
So kind of like a DayZ.
Right, more of a survival game.
But not... no, actually, I'd say, kind of like that. Except you can have objectives.
Yeah, so like there are multiple different game modes. There's game modes like survive hordes. There's
there's no open world like in DayZ.
Right. There's open map though. So like we played a game mode where we have a phone, a really glitchy phone that was weird, and it would be like, hey, like we have to get out of here, like go upstairs, and so we'd have to like go upstairs and like kill zombies and figure it all out. That was pretty fun. Like basically just trying to get to the end of this map. I think we lost, didn't we? Oh man! We went all the way up to the top, and then all the zombies came in.
Which one?
I'll repaint this picture for you guys. Basically,
I do remember.
We were in a biomedical facility, and we thought that there might be a cure to the zombies, right? Classic zombie shooter, right? And so we're in here, we're like, scouring around, ammo and weapons very limited, so we're like scouring everything, and we're kind of just playing at first, and then we realize how dangerous things actually are. So like, Anthony's holding specific types of weapons, I'm holding specific types of weapons, I have a shotgun, so we're like clearing corners, making sure we don't die, things like that, right? There are some pretty difficult situations that we get into. It was difficult. At some point, we even just cheated, and we still had like a difficult time. So we went up. We go through this whole thing. It took us like quite a while, like maybe an hour or two.
I don't remember.
To like get through the first part, and then we get to the roof.
That was before we were using cheats too.
Oh yeah. So then we get to the roof. And then at the roof, there's this new door, so we go open it, and I'm like, all right, let's go through.
I'm at 1 health.
Yeah, Anthony's been at really low health the whole time.
We thought any bandages.
We thought he was one hit, and then he got hit one more time. So now he's like really at 1 health.
Yeah.
There was no health around. So we'd been exploring for like an hour. There was no health, and so I've got my shotgun. And I'm in the front now. I'm like, okay, Anthony, please stay behind me. I've got this. And I open up this door, and like I see, and we're like, it's like a big office kind of.
We see some zombies.
Yeah. There's like all these little like office rooms and stuff, and there are a couple zombies, and I'm like, easy. I've got my shotgun. I'll shoot them in the head. We'll get through this. And like I start doing it, and then Anthony kind of starts creeping up, shooting, and I'm like, Anthony, behind you! And then Anthony like moves to the side instead of behind, and so then Anthony gets attacked. Anthony gets down, and I'm just like shooting. Actually, no, you didn't get down.
No, I didn't die.
You finally moved to the guy. No. I ended it. You moved all the way to the back. Finally, you figured out how to get to the back, and we're just like shooting everything, and zombies are pouring out, and we just get slaughtered. And it was so much fun. I don't know. There's these kind of games that aren't great, right? They don't have a publisher. They don't have truly indie. It's truly an indie game, right? It was fun, and you're not gonna find this on console. You know what I mean? Like you're not. And I think it could be on console. I think they could find it.
You also can't have fun with no clip on console.
With no clip?
The thing that makes you float. So you go through everything.
Yeah. Console commands. But that's basically it, guys. There are other games that I plan on playing. Oblivion. That's it. No, I'm just kidding. Well, I'm actually pretty keen on beating Borderlands, the pre-sequel.
Yeah.
I like that game. I love Borderlands. I'd love to figure out the story that's going on there. I love Oblivion. I want to beat it. I also want to do a stream. I want to try and stream where you guys tell me what to do in Oblivion, which may be a terrible decision, but
as in like every move, as in like a
not Twitch plays Oblivion, but like what should I do here? Where should I go first? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I want to beat it first, so I might just go through the story and beat it. Since I've already played tons of Oblivion, I just haven't beaten the story. So that would be cool. I want to play a lot more controller-supported games. I do want to play keyboard and mouse only games to get a little bit better at that. But my PS4 is also back, so I've also got to beat Final Fantasy 15, and then I've got to get Nier Automata and beat that, and then I've got to get Horizon Zero Dawn to beat that. So there's a lot of other games I got to beat too. But we'll see what happens. I have been playing more games, and that's been a lot of fun. But that's basically it, guys. I know this stream went forever. Butter Brian says slaughter everything in Oblivion. See, I think that would be fun, Butter Brian. Like, just be like, we start, and it's like, you guys tell me to kill people. Like, I don't care. Like, sure, why not? I'll start an account to do that. That seems like fun. That's basically it, guys. I don't really have anything else to say. That looks concerning. The fact that it stopped at some point or something.
It was for less than a minute.
Yeah.
So,
that's basically it, guys. That's basically it. Proud Noob says, my brother beat Final Fantasy in 3 days. Yeah, I'm not your brother. I don't have.
When you say beat, like actually beat,
right, like 100%. Like I'm a 100%er. Like
not even 100%. Just like did all the quests.
Yeah. Okay. Fair. Yeah. I'm
like
I'm
not collected everything.
Yeah. I'm like a.
Because I doubt that. I doubt that he beat the actual whole game in 3 days. Maybe unless the main story.
Unless he sat down and played the whole game, like all 3 days, like over a massive weekend. I can see that. I mean, if you play 24 hour, that's a lot of hours. So, or even 12 hour is a lot. I mean, you could probably beat the game in 36 hours. Probably. I mean, I can't imagine. I mean, it's the main story. So yeah, probably not. It's probably a 72-hour game. That's what I'm assuming. Yeah, just the quests. Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, that's basically it, guys. Thank you so much. I don't know why this is up. I keep doing this. Man, I really gotta stop doing this. What is studio mode? I feel like this might be what we need to do. Because if we're in studio mode, I can go into this and then know that I want this and transition over. So I can set this up. Right? So we're here. We're streaming this.
Oh, okay.
And then, oh, crap. So I can set this to be something. I think. I don't know. I gotta play with this. What are you guys seeing right now? Okay, you're seeing this. Cool. And then, how do I change the...
Click transition.
Transition. Yeah, but then it switches to this, yeah?
Well, you just switched. What?
Right, but like it will only change this one. So which one is the right one? Alright guys, it's been so much fun. Like this video if you like it. Dislike it if you dislike it. Let me know why in the comment section after this video is done streaming. How long have we been streaming for? 2 hours and 30 minutes.
Yep.
It's been a while, guys. I missed you guys. There's only 3 of you watching, but, whatever. It's been fun. I enjoyed this time. I hope you guys enjoyed this time. I'll be streaming more games because I like games. I like streaming, which is weird. Never thought I would. But I don't want to... Thank you, Butter Brian. I'm glad you liked it. Thank you. Yeah, I want to do some smaller streams, like where I stream, and just talk to you guys for a little bit. 30 minutes. Like I streamed Lethal League, that was fun. Because then it's a video that you guys can watch later, and it's not very long, comparatively to the stream. Super long. But yeah. Alright, guys. I'll see you online. Probably playing... I don't know. What will be the next stream? So many streams. Refunct?
Super Mario 64.
Refunct, maybe? I can show you guys Refunct. I thought that was a really great game. Or maybe something on my PS4. That's about it. I listened to the beginning of podcasts at school. Yeah, I mean, you probably can't listen to the whole podcast at school because that's like 5 of your classes. All right, guys. Thanks so much. I'll see you guys online, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.